And let it go for a few bits before hello and welcome to another fresh session of Rescue at Raxis. Last time, a true competition was engaged in. One of sportsmanship, one of determination, one of just fucking with the guy who has nothing. And ruining a giant cat's day. Like,
Mm-hmm. Because we're heroes.
to be fair, it wasn't even you guys.
No, it
Yes,
wasn't.
exactly. No consequences for Cornelius.
I behaved. I overcompensated.
No, Orbitson's gonna have some trouble when he goes to work.
Yeah. But you all got home after a long, long conversation about being with someone, about having relationships, about some who have never had even the beginnings of a hint of one, because they were too busy with their books, or their drugs, or their beer.
In your head, in your head. Sorry, what?
Actually, come to think of it, I imagine all the guys in the party have had issues with any kind of beginning of relationships now we think about their character. But,
Are you saying some of us might be socially dysfunctional?
well, Zarzul's the only one who's got a clear excuse because kobolds just aren't that way. Your standard kobold only thinks about having a relationship if they need to resupply on the numbers of the tribe. Zarzul might be different, but that's their basic temperament, so nobody expects a big loving relationship out of a kobold. Some of them are even surprised that they can feel emotion.
They don't expect a relationship out of a kobold that might have been run to the litter, as it were.
Well, any kobold, even a top one. That's why people find Renenbach so amusing, for he has many spouses. Then we have Malgern, so that explains everything there, front to start. Cornelius was a surprise to no one, but now morning arises. You emerge out of your various rooms, hidey holes, and alcoves. It's all standing there before you now. The glorious, dull, horrible, spiking pain lodged right in your forehead, Malgarn and Zarzul. No save will save you.
There's no
Good
hope.
morning.
She calls that down.
I didn't drink that much. I passed out too quickly.
As rain calls out through the hole in the floor of her room, down at where Malgern lives.
I just see just bright flashes of white as the aura migrate. Oh god, everything's terrible.
This means you had a good night last night.
It's breakfast time.
You know, the rest of us who haven't been consuming that much alcohol do not find your screeching that much more appealing.
She just kind of rolls her eyes. Yeah.
How do I get?
Guys. There I am. I'm dead on the floor. Okay, I was just wondering where
Yeah,
Zazzle
you
was.
got to move yourself back. We're still over in that corner.
Yeah, but I'm actually here.
We never actually we forgot the kobold. There wasn't enough room on the floating disc. I'm sorry, buddy.
Okay, Zazzle comes stumbling back in.
No, you
No,
you were here.
But that would be pretty funny.
Yeah, you clamped onto the oven to your hidey hole.
There is no one walking out of Orbinson's room this morning. And Castalia is probably the only one who emerges from her room immediately.
Alone? Question mark.
Well, he's probably got a migraine too.
Of course, I'm not thinking of that. I'm just thinking of this intense pain.
You know, I'm surprised that dragon. I did not even know dragonborns could suffer from sleep apnea.
I don't think it's sleep apnea, Cornelius. As I'm like rubbing my head, like, oh fuck me.
You can snore without that.
So we still have a decision to make around certain invitations.
That we do. Who are we going to visit? And then we have to get you all dressed up and dolled up. And the you all does not include you, Cornelius. I know you know how to dress.
He might need something new and flashy for this. He's got his colored stored.
And I'm just giving Rain a dirty look right now.
Mind you, all of Cornelius studs might be a year out of fashion at this point. Who knows?
Oh.
Probably a greater timeline than that.
I'm well
They
aware
have-
of what.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Let's go
simple fact is,
shopping.
Cornelius, you know the fashions of the coast.
Yep.
At least in Neverwinter. A little bit in Waterdeep, but you have no idea of inland. You get your fingers caught.
Yeah, I was like, just go with that hangover. Perfect. It's like, yeah.
I have a question. Would lesser restoration fix this for me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm burning a spell slot.
There's a reason priests can be a bit more liberal with the wine. Thing is, Arzul, the haze lifts and you feel not great, but you're feeling like a good 90% of yourself now. 10% knocked off for dehydration mainly.
Okay. I'm gonna go get a drink.
We do have a source of water in this house, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
'Cause, yeah, I feel my tongue is swollen and I am.
I mean, it takes a walk and filling a bucket, but you know, you've got a source of water.
Who said I'm bringing a bucket? Puts mouth under spout.
Well, in this case, I'm talking about, like, there would be, like, realistically, a communal well you guys are drawing from.
Yeah.
And you're not going into the well, because I ain't digging you out of it.
And the neighbors would take offense.
I don't know how deep's the well. I can spring 30 feet, right?
You sure you want to be drinking right from the faucet like that?
It's full of fluoride, you know, it's
fine.
turning the frogs gay.
Well, that's the atrazine.
No, it's all the fracking from the neighboring village. The well's on fire.
And then there's slow, heavy steps of a surprisingly fresh-looking dragonborn who's just being very methodical about where he's going as he walks down the stairs.
Ah, I see our champion has awoken.
Yeah, been a while since I tied one on like that.
I'm just shocked he doesn't look like shit. Or at least look like he feels like shit. I was like, it's not fair, man. Where's his hangover? I can't even remember what these feel like. It's been so long.
Yeah, gotta say, nice to wake up in a place I remembered this time. And
Well, none of us were gonna let you run off.
well, no chance of that, but I've been with other groups, and you don't always wake up in the most pleasant company. Not like that. It's not holy for me, but I've been a little spoon a few times.
Valkyrian's just having flashbacks of the time he woke up in a barn. How the fuck did I get here?
Yeah, Castelli is a much better option to vet as he walks to the kitchen.
For once, there is actually a term that Cornelius is just not entirely sure of what he meant with being a little spoon, but he assumes it's probably something to do with being drunk.
Does he look visibly confused?
I don't think he might have noticed when it was that he looked. I don't think he's as such confused. Like visibly, like really going like, duh?
Oh, you would never be that visible. That might get embarrassing.
Yeah,
He's clearly trying to hide it.
it's more
Rain,
like
I think you should roll insight.
it's like Cornelius' own little, see if he can solve the riddle about what would mean with the little spoon, and he starts picturing how would you set up a table with the spoons and the knives and the forks, trying to see if he can figure out this riddle.
And why is a tiefling a better option than that? Her horns aren't that good for stabbing food.
How can one wake up as the dinner spoon?
No, as the little spoon. Why would he be the little spoon? Then what would that make the big spoon? I need some paper here.
Meanwhile, in Malgurn's head, what does the spoon look like? People use you.
In Malgurn's head, there's just more pain as there's a knock on the door, quite loud.
It's just the little monkey with cymbals, clang, clang, clang. Ah, son of a bitch!
Who wants to get the front door?
Close I can, as I'm standing, as the maximum reach for using Mage Hand to open the door.
Drew quickly hurries over when he sees you moving. I'll get it, I'll get it.
Alright then.
Pulled open,
Stay
and you
quiet.
see,
Else will get
unsurprisingly, your landlord standing there.
Ah,
He's got Crusher with him, but you think the other one might have been a replacement. He looks more like a Thrasher. Nice to see you alive, tenants. Hello.
Hello.
hello. Has it already been a week?
It has indeed. 100.
Hang on a moment.
In this case, actually, 90 gold. Turns out the
Okay.
roofer did it under budget. Although, if you want it painted, it'll cost 10 gold.
Oh, we're good. We don't need it painted.
Very well.
Didn't we pay you in advance?
It's really hard to keep track of these things without the paperwork.
Mm-hmm. I pretend to go upstairs. And I come back with 50 gold as is per the house rent, because I do remember that we did actually pay in advance for the repair of the roof.
Do you have it in writing, though?
Neither does he.
Have a good day.
You as well.
I expected it to be a little argument, but
And they just walk away.
Nah, he was just trying to see if he could get any extra.
I feel like our DM might be testing us.
I got you guys to work pro bono twice.
Yeah, and then I try to pull that in a fucking newbie campaign. It's like, fuck, they've trained for this. Not fair, man.
It even said in your adventure book.
It was part of the module. I was like, God damn it, this doesn't work when they're expecting it.
So then, in any case, 2 houses, one aligned the Cerulean Knights, so Cerulean Knights, the other one unknown, possibly not aligned with either.
Hmm.
So the question does become, although at this point it will be we will be snubbing one family for the other by going to the invitation. That is unavoidable. But that can usually always be, can always be repaired in some other way.
Yeah.
As long as we
Smooth it
just,
over.
as long as we don't show a direct allegiance just yet. And the Ceruleans do seem to at least be somewhat, since we already have Tolkien as part of that, we at least have some idea that they have some interest in seeing the royal family make it out alive.
Or at least some sections of them believe that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I suppose we should probably go to that one.
However, probably not started as an opener.
Oh no, heavens no. We probably don't want to bring it up at all, come to think of it. We're just trying to get the lay of the land.
There is just this building aroma of various hot spices flowing out from the kitchen now, along with cooked bread. It's like smelling it, sniffing through it, Malgern, it burns the nostrils alone.
So this bread you speak of, is that like solid beer?
It was once known as dehydrated beer.
Ah, yeah, okay.
You add beer to it to make it beer.
Yeah. I'm not saying the real thing.
Hmm.
I'm sure the dwarves have a rough equivalent, made with real beer.
Can Cornelius identify some of the spices going on?
Vaguely. They all seem to be much more sort of foreign than the stuff you'd be pinching and dashing. Well, the cook would be pinching and dashing onto your meals. A lot of chili,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of pepper, a lot of cumin. Lots of it. It's that
Well,
kind
it's
of mixed aroma.
What exactly is going on in there? Because that definitely has Cornelius' curiosity piqued.
That smells somewhat rich. What the fuck is going on in there?
Smells like it's above the poverty line. Let's move.
Yeah, that's yeah, that's the impression I'm getting. He's smelling well with this.
Like some people say a sauce is rich when they just mean it's got too much in it. For Cornelius, it's just adequate.
Yeah.
Rich dark chocolate.
As you step in, you already feel like a bead of sweat forming.
Ooh.
And Congrats is just there, hunched over the oven.
Certainly not holding back on the spices, are we?
Ah, well. Where I come from, very cold, so it's important to heat up. Just got the taste for it, too. You know, you breathe fire, so gotta have something potent. I'm up for
Like I
sharing, though.
imagine.
I'm making a few for a ration kit.
Ah.
Don't know if you've had it before for Rafi.
Can't say I have had the chance, no.
Yeah, so it's nothing that fancy. It turns out every race has something like this here. It's just griddled meat or griddled bread stuffed up. I like to do mine with a bit of lamb, good set of onions, couple of bits cloves of garlic. So you know, it's potent.
Yes, we can suddenly smell it all the way outside.
I better
We might
open-
want
Yeah, I better open
to. Yeah,
the window
better
then.
open
Sorry.
the window here. Quite all right.
Don't worry, I paid for all this myself.
Well, that's not what I was worried about. I was just mostly curious about as to the rich flavors coming from in here.
It's just kind of normal you're raised on it.
Emphasis
You can
on
see
rich.
distinctly there are 4 being made. And as you said, you know, you're interested in it, he's working on a 5th.
Yeah, well, just keep an eye on how he's making it.
There's a lot of pepper, a lot of chilies being ground into it. And it's all like he's got these huge hands, bigger than your head. And as you might expect, he is just able to mash everything beautifully. It goes from being lamb to mince to just pulp. And then he squashes everything else in. So,
This.
Hmm?
So you don't even need any use of yeast or anything for this?
oh, well, I bought the loaf. As he points to a bunch, you know, a little stack of farls.
Hmm.
It's not the right kind of bread. Usually we use flatter, sort of harder, kind of like a dwarf stone bread, but you know it doesn't take 3 people biting down to try and tear through the crust. This will be a bit lighter, but should be fine. Just don't want it to get soggy for the juices. So, morning then.
Well, glad to see that you're, after all that you've experienced, that you've had some pleasant days to compensate for it, even though I guess it won't be enough, all things considered.
Well, I've said my goodbyes. I've said them a few times. They're not going to get replaced, but no benefit to me just sitting around moping.
I suppose not.
One of them should be up there in Ioun's laboratory, or library, whatever it was. She just said she loves study and research. As for Danud, I think he just wanted a nice little simple plane. Maybe he's with some of the wood elves. You ever thought about where you intend to go, which land of the dead? Under which deity's eye you're going to survive in?
Well, so far, I haven't really just been following our family deity. Not been as such paying too much attention to it. You could say it's mostly been lip service. But I suppose at some point I'll start getting serious about it. A retirement plan, so to speak.
As Cornelius, Congrats is thinking of which deity would suit him, and Cornelius is just thinking, how much gold will I put on my phylactery? Shall I embed it in a throne?
No, too obvious.
Here, I thought he was going to use the clone spell or whatever.
Well, that doesn't prolong your lifespan as such, as I believe.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It does?
Yeah, because you get in a whole new body. You can age the body, or you can just grow up again. The problem is, of course, it's expensive. You got to keep doing it. Whereas a phylactery, you've just got to grab a couple of elves, and you're sorted for multiple centuries. Just an idea there.
You said elves, I wouldn't stop him.
After all, you already have a half one.
Alright, so we just need like 1.5.
Yeah, but that's like using store brand battery instead of buying the more expensive.
Yeah, you want the reduced acid ones. You want the alkaline batteries.
Yeah. Like, why get the Tesco double A's when I could get the Duracells?
The worst I've ever had were fucking Kodak ones. Terrible.
Mhm.
So, what will you be getting up to today? Not prying, I'm just asking. It'll take a while for
that's
these to
fine.
cook.
Well, we do, after all, have to get ourselves dressed for the invitations. So, well, as I just kind of pointed arm out to the room, as you can see, there's some who might be needing some assistance out there.
Yeah.
I suppose you'll be the tag-along for Castalia?
She hasn't said. So.
Ah. Well,
He just sort of
probably
looks at you for a moment when you said tag along. Oh. You're not sure, but it's just a little sort of slight narrow of the eyes. Nothing mean or malicious, just, tag along, okay.
Well, you might want to...
No, he doesn't
Might
say
wanna-
anything out loud. Just sort of giving you the look
no,
of just, he gets a little bit narrowed on it.
Well, you might want to get a... Might want to talk to her. I'll get a word with her, just so we can at least figure out we also need to pick up a suit for you.
Okay, I might actually have something still.
Have you brought some with you?
Well, travel a few places, yeah.
Oh yes, but not always.
I had to attend.
Not always expected that you might be coming up to a.
Yeah, I've had to
a
do a
fancy
few.
place.
Had to do a few elbow rubbing parties, mainly in Waterdeep.
Hmm.
Danude kept boasting, but one of the people we were meeting was one of the masked lords. But you're not meant to be able to tell. So I really doubt it. I think he was just a decent merchant. Blue Bloods are a different matter.
Yes, indeed.
But I should have some decent tabard and robes. Look more like the Knight on Crusade kind of look than just without the armor, obviously.
Well, that might work.
Well, I managed to get away with it last time. They don't know how Dragonborn dress formally. So I was able to make an excuse to wear something comfortable, whereas they were all dolled up in starched up gear, high collars, and ruffs. They looked ridiculous.
You wouldn't happen to know what the style is around, have an inkling of what the style is around here, would you?
Nah, I haven't been up to the Van Gool district. We were hoping we were going to get called up after the slums, so that panned out. And I haven't seen any of them peacocking around the town either. They seem very much locked down. I mean, I haven't even seen any litters, hansom cabs, or anything like that there being carried about. Only that stuff's making hell with the foot traffic. Could ask.
Yeah, I figured. What if we find some sort of tailor, they might be able to help us out.
Yeah, they'd have to be getting their clothes from somewhere.
Well, in any case, I'll leave you to your bread baking.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could just set a water clock on this, but yeah, alright. It's funny, Cornelius, like, it's a big kitchen, but it seemed really small when he was in it.
Yeah, but on the other hand, we have also had a Goliath in here, even though he has his kneecap cut, the legs cut off to the knees. So it's not an unusual sight. Certainly have a flavor for the spices. So, what are people's plans for today, other than we need to get you fixed up?
As far as I know, that was the only thing on my docket.
I do wonder. Malgarn, what would you think would be appropriate for you to show up in? We do have that fancy breastplate that we might be able to get fitted to you in time.
Mm-hmm. I'm liking the think. I immediately perk. Ooh, new breastplate. Yeah, I like the sound of that. I'm not really been anything fancy, so whatever works. I know. No, he honestly never has. Like,
Yeah.
that works. Like,
You think I could be pretty?
Yeah. You think I'm pretty, Cornelius?
We can make you the prettiest spell at the ball, Malgarn.
He's sitting in front of Rain's vanity, combing through his beard and sideburns. I'm a pretty dwarf. I'm a pretty dwarf.
Comb through the beard.
And that's when his dad shows up. What the fuck have you done with my boy?
Today I step out as polished iron.
Or like a polished turd, you piece of shit.
Actually, that might be where. Because you think you can help fit that breastplate we found to fit Malgarn?
Oh, certainly. I was planning to go out and try and get an outfit for myself, but I can certainly handle that before.
Oh well, only if you have.
I was planning on taking care of myself, but yeah, sure, I'll do something else instead. Poor Castalia.
Well, we all have to look our best.
Well, only if you have the time for it, of course. Otherwise, I'm certain we can find some other outfit for Melgarin.
Oh, I'll certainly work on it.
Yes, and I'm certain that Rain can help you out help you out with an outfit fitting for the level of class we're having to deal with.
Could
Most
definitely be
certainly.
appreciated.
I suppose we'll make it an outing.
That, of course, leaves the trickier situation as I look over at Sasul and Droop. Ah, good morning.
No, it's not. As Orbison's just sort of shuffles through the room, a bit like the undead you've seen before. No, today is a terrible day. It's going to get worse.
The hangover will be over soon.
That's mostly gone. It's just I'm remembering now. I remember faces at the tables. Those are
I'd
my
hope so.
co-workers.
Oh,
The big tabaxi that I splashed the drink of multiple times. He's one of the main fighters at the arena. The hobgoblin, she threw a dart at my head during the interview and said I'd never amount to anything, and she tried to grab my drink and I held it back, and I have to meet those people today. Well, they're all in bad moods because they all lost. Thank you, congrats.
Well, you lost too. That's something you can share in.
Oh, yes, I am fine with being known as a fellow loser. She will not be fine being a loser before I was. And the dwarf is just terrifying anyway. I saw him. He almost pulled the head off his first opponent, and you're not meant to kill in that arena. He was just about to do it anyway. But the Tabaxi, Al Shellslide, that's his name. He's, cats don't like getting wet. Heavy drinkers don't like their drinks being spilled, and I spilled him, and he's a heavy drinker that's a cat. I spilled his drink and made him wet. On more than one time. He will beat me. He will turn me into a knot.
it wasn't a competition, too, though.
I'm sure it'll be fine. What's the worst that has happened to me recently? How could it get worse? And he just walks out.
And Cornelius actually starts thinking of it as an actual question that needed an answer. Starts considering how things could get worse.
Turns out he's the son of the orc chieftain. All things said, though, Droop does look quite smartly dressed, as a servant.
Yeah. It's gonna need a little bit of improvement, though. It's gonna need new set of clothes.
We have to polish them up a little bit.
No, I will ask you to, as it is one of those kind of dreadfully boring affairs, so fully understandable if you don't want to come with.
Oh, I thought I was just going to stay here and look after the animals. Because who's going to look after them if I'm not here?
Well, I'm certain Orbison is still going to be here.
Maybe.
Now that's something you might want to have words about.
Yeah.
I don't know if Wolfgang is going to be coming with the party. I'm not entirely sure if they're going to allow wolves inside.
It might be best if he stays just because he's shorter, and I foresee him getting tripped on.
Also, somebody's got to look after Lorna,
Mhm.
and I'm not totally sure Droop by himself will be able to manage that.
Yeah, I kind of agree there.
Well, otherwise we can also see if we can spend the evening with the theater folks.
But it'll be the evening, that's when they're working mostly.
Hmm. Well, I suppose that would be, yes. What did you actually? What were your experience around the evening with the folk group?
Oh, it was fine. The theater hadn't been was still getting renovated.
Ah, yes, renovated.
So yeah, Megrin and Karen were there. He he said he was doing. He made an oath, so we didn't go out drinking or anything. We just hung out. He was really nice.
Certainly is.
His knees are kind of gross, though.
Well, that's not exactly his fault.
I know, that's why I whispered it, because I didn't want to say anything too mean, but it's just there.
Well, hopefully we might find a solution for that.
Some sort of healing.
Hmm.
Well, let's hop to the city map. Not a whole lot of reason to. You can still, like, the topics still carry on, but now you got an idea of planning out where you're going. Because I'm sure you all remember what the main districts are and their purposes.
Yes. I'm going to be, and most of us are going to end up being in this district.
Yep.
Yeah, that was basically the merchant district. But I think we also ended up like around here. That's where the furniture were.
Yes. That's where our furniture shops were.
Now, for fun, who remembers the name of the districts? What's the name of this district here?
Oh, I have no clue.
I was going to say, if you want me to guess, I'm going to come up with Soggy Bottom, probably.
Sure. No. Bellanks. Van Gool. Arnvale. Pirojnia. Anyone got the last one?
Hang on.
Nope.
Valnave. Doesn't matter at all. What are you doing? You gonna try and label them now?
Rosnia.
The funny thing is, Rain actually wrote it down.
I did?
Yeah, I knew you'd forgotten. You put it at the bottom of the Necromancer's journal. The one that's meant to be like a complete journal of the adventure, and you stopped after about a session.
Yes.
Yep, they're there.
Well, hey, I've had to devote my time and effort into writing songs about sleeping with geese and getting eaten by spiders.
Okay, we've had 5 sessions of that. We're up 70. We're session 72 for Raxis.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, it's because my keyboard's too loud to type in the session.
So anyway, any further chat in the household?
No.
Let us
Oh.
go shopping.
Other than and start divvying up your health potions.
Probably divvying out money as well, unless you're going as a group.
Yeah.
I'm half wondering if we should just go as a group.
Might as well. More chance for interaction.
Exactly. We're gonna have to go to the tailor's anyways. Most everybody will. I would assume you want something fresh.
Oh yes, most certainly. Not expecting me to show up in this.
I know. You're far too fashionable for that. I'm the only one who doesn't need attire because, well, I can make it.
Yes, I'm certain the tailor whose design you're going to steal will be very happy about this.
I'm not going to completely lift anything wholesale.
She also does have an actual real fancy gown.
Yes, I do.
What the old? Oh yeah, the
Yeah, the dress she didn't want to ruin, so she walked around instead as a maid.
Yep.
well, you probably want someone to fit that one then.
It's just
I
funny how that
probably-
coincidentally keeps on happening to Rain. Because anyone could have tried on the ring and it would have done the same thing.
It's just Rain is the character who has to deliver the fan service for this TV show.
Exactly.
She's the only one who signed that part in the contract for extra money.
I think that's Castalia, to be fair.
Flashbacks of Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge fan service.
Congrats emerging from the kitchen.
Yeah.
Now there's the fan service for the ladies.
You just the. Sorry.
Just a tonnage of brass, shiny scales. With muscle and heft and hugeness.
And there you go. Rain is literally the My Valentine of this group. Fan service. Hurts that I had to look that up. I should remember that kind of stuff.
So would that make Castalia then the Dark Magician girl?
I forgot that they.
Because it's
made
not
Tino
fucking
watch her
Tia.
card.
It's definitely not fucking Taya.
No.
Zarzul's with Jolie Wheeler. So
Yeah.
just luck. It might work. It probably doesn't.
I could see that. Yeah. Poor Jared.
Cornelius and Droop are Yugi. Okay, then. Back to the session.
Oh, but that was a fun segue.
And I have no idea what any of the references mean because
The problem is I don't
never
remember-
saw the show.
I don't remember who that last dopey one is, because I don't want to say that's Malgern.
Dopey one?
In their group, yeah, with the pointed haircut.
Shit. I know
Yeah,
his
he's
name.
so unremarkable.
No, Malgern is.
Tristan.
Okay, there we go. So,
Yeah, let's go and see if we can find a tailor.
Duresh just watches you all leave without saying a word.
Oh wait, we just said we're leaving to find a tailor.
Yeah?
I would point. Well, would you like to come with us, or have you got your stuff sorted?
Oh no, I'll come along, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of as we're walking towards just walk up to Castellan and sort of whisper, you know, might want to start to decide if you're bringing him along or not. Let him know at the very least.
All right.
The Virgin Wingman.
I was about to say, it's like, wait a second.
It's still pretty early, but oh man, it feels like it's fucking nighttime. The sky is overcast as all hell. It is thick gray clouds, almost black at the densest. The sun is not able to shine through. The wind is slow, but it seems like before it was icicles being thrown at you, now it's like just sheets of ice being dragged across you. It is a cold, still, dull morning. Not a lot of people just milling around at this point. Even the market itself is being set up very sluggishly. But anyone who's a food vendor is actually at normal speed once they get their fires lit. And as you get to the gates separating the two districts, there is a small procession of footmen with spears. All of their helmets having a metal mask on the front. Hollows for eyes and mouth. Marching in good regimented fashion as they head for the gate.
That's not your average looking spearman.
You've actually seen guys dressed like that a few times, just not in a big unit. Malgurn, you've seen quite a few of them in a unit.
Yeah.
They didn't hire you.
No, they didn't.
But you got the impression it's because they just don't do outsiders. It's more sort of a they're representing their nation.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. There were plenty of other sort of mixed groups of just mercs that were lounging about that were interested in you to a certain point. Then they realized we can't afford the booze this guy will have.
It's too expensive, what can I say?
So, what are the tailoring store we can see around?
There's quite a few little spots. Specifically here, and down here. All seem to be sort of higher class ones. The Gilded Needle, which seems a bit too on the nose, but it has very full dresses sitting out front, and a ruff that is just 4 foot in diameter. You're not sure if it's a costume shop or actually fancy stuff. There is also the Fey Garden, which has definitely gone with its theme. It looks like the building, at least the front of it, was grown. There are weird interlinked roots. There's a bit of a tree trunk. But then there's the obviousness once you look past that there, but it's just a facade. It's just a fake bit of this as a forest front. The stuff inside looks pretty fine, and, they've got quite a few examples of very forest-themed attire. Thin shawls with sort of a leaf vein pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of fur wraps. And the last one is just called the Cut to Measure. It looks bleak. It just looks very stately. All the lines on the shop are straight. Everything is clean. Everything is polished. All the suits inside just hang there. All the dresses are just hung. It's a wonder that someone actually lives in there. But, it looks very high class. It's happiness is a common emotion.
So this is Cornelius' store then.
Yeah, Cornelius, you feel an affinity with this place. But those look like the highest class places. All the rest would just be sort of, normal attire, but they could probably do it a stretch something fancy. Or at least fancy for new money.
Well, I suppose this part here would definitely be a fitting place for me and Malgurn. What was the last one was called again?
Cut to Measure.
cut to measure.
Yes, I actually do agree with you. I think that's probably our best option.
Yeah. Which of
What's
these
that?
places look like they'll actually accept a kobold in the door? Let alone actually allow them to buy clothes.
There's no signs, apart from no pets.
But I was about to say, Sarsul seems to be fitting for the nature shop.
Well, also, I mean, Renenbach exists.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen the gaggle of them. They are very highly dressed.
Hmm. Ah, yes, I suppose that Sarsul, you could always ask the kobold about. Well, I guess only one of them really. They get their where they're getting their tailing done. Expect that they probably have an expectation of how kobolds are dressed fancily.
Yeah, I'll try the nature-ish type place first. I think should be able to find something in there, or have something made.
As you step inside, you see it's a thin woman, delicate features, but those are not her real ears. You very quickly identify that. The skin tone is just a little bit different. Those are appliances she's got stuck on there. And as she smiles at you, those are not real teeth. Those are painted. Hello there, little one. And as she speaks, her lips never retract over her teeth again. They just stay up and out. As she speaks and sets her expression. Are you picking up something for your master?
I was expecting this. No, actually, I'm looking for something for myself.
Oh, so you're not one of Renenbach's.
No,
Oh,
I'm not.
and I apologize for making assumptions, but they're the more frequent ones who walk from our door. Bless, please come in. Would you like a suit or a dress?
Suit, thank you.
Oh, yes, of course, of course. I have to ask. It's impossible to tell. Well, we'll just make it simpler here. If you just hop up on the counter here. Yes.
Okay.
Now, here's a question. Would you all walk out dressed in? Is he festooned with his gear?
No, he's not in full get-up, as it were. Just more casual clothes.
Okay. Then yeah, she's got no problem there. She just starts whipping out the tape measure. Do you have any colors you associate with?
Not so much at the moment.
Formal enjoyable or formal serious? What are you looking for?
I'm thinking more the enjoyable side.
Oh good, not a funeral suit then.
No, I hope not.
Wedding?
No.
Did you feel her pull on your tail to get it straight?
No, I'm having to go to the higher class area to meet and greet.
Oh, very fancy. You're getting into the Van Gool district. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Most of my customers, in fact, practically all of them, live there. So it's nice that you can visit. You'll be able to see more of my fine work. Arms out, yes. Would you like your horns buffed, shaped, or polished?
Just slightly buffed probably would be fine.
Oh yes, that will be an additional charge, of course. But let me take a look here. Yes, inseam. Yes, okay. And would you like them to be? Do you want the full leg covered or just? We'd like to do a little bit of a sort of a slit pant idea, where it just covers, but it stops past the knee. Gives you a little more movement.
Yeah, I think it's the slightly longer, just in case.
All right.
Having
And do you have
movement sounds
any?
like a good idea.
Do you have any local customs or ritualistic decoration you wish for, or are you just here to blend into the high fashion, but I'll be honest, I've set quite a lot of precedent here.
Just blending in is fine.
Oh,
Don't want to
excellent,
stand out
excellent.
Too much.
How much are you looking to be spending? And as she's doing this, she's continuing to measure you, and then she points at a board on the wall, and there are numerous zeros here beside every figure.
What sort of figures am I looking at?
Baseline is starting at 150, and you see a
Yep.
G beside it, so you're pretty certain you know that one. And it goes up to, at first it starts counting in gold, and then it just jumps to platinum. But the zeros don't reduce.
Oof.
But that's, 5 or 6 steps above.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Well, you have this
200.
600.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I could really splash it. It's stupid to do so just for possibly 1 or 2 occasions. But
I mean,
why
just
not?
think you could then take that suit round to the Clumps and get it made Technicolor.
Yeah, this might be the start. I wonder if it comes with an interesting hat. This is something to ask.
It
Is
is.
there hats listed on the thing?
They are, but in a separate column.
Okay.
But they do start at, they start at smaller prices and don't go up as high.
I'm probably thinking about the 300, maybe 350.
Ooh, yes, that's very pleasant to hear. I can do some fine natural work there.
And I'm probably thinking a hat of some form.
Are you thinking of a shaped hat or a trophy hat? We do all manner of cowls. We have various taxidermid species.
I'm thinking something wearable, something that stands out a little bit, but something I could wear occasionally outside of possibly high fashion as well.
Yes. Okay, so we don't want to be too adventurous, I understand. And again, it's like,
Yeah.
she's been talking for a bit. She has not closed her lips.
Do I know what sort of creature she is?
Well, she's not an elf. You're certain of that.
Probably not human. Okay.
Yes. I believe I have a few options for you. Just one moment.
Please.
And she sets out a tricorn hat that's very, like, for your head, it's actually very snug. Like, none of the brim comes forward all that much at the front, and it's all sort of flowing at the back. So it's an uneven tricorn.
Okay.
Then there is a tidy, very swept back trilby. There is the typical farmer Macintosh cap. And then there is a clump of moss. I mean, I decided to put a little bit of an exotic one on there, just in case you were interested.
I'm thinking the true.
Let me just show you. I can't contain my excitement. As she puts the moss onto you, now think of a color. Something nice and normal.
Thinking about a bronze. Maybe.
Bronze. As it puts on, you feel it sort of a warmth spread around your head, and starts to dangle there. And then you see her just cast a little cantrip of gust, and you look in the mirror and you see yourself with flowing bronze locks. As you narrow your eyes, you can see it is still moss, but it's gotten lengthier and softer looking. You have a heroic flowing mane.
Maybe not.
Hmm.
Not really what I'm looking for.
Very well, very well. Let
Maybe
me
the
see.
tricorn with that. Maybe a feather or something just to accent it a bit.
Oh yes, we have a very fine category. And she starts to slide open a panel door, and you can see, arranged in a just columns of them, various eagle, pigeon, some birds of paradise type feathers. Then you see a couple of shells below that with closed stuff. And then she keeps on pulling, and you start seeing longer feathers from bigger animals. And she keeps on pulling the panel out, and you just see ones that are longer than you.
Maybe not quite that big.
I can do a little enchantment, so they're practically weightless. And you have the most opportunity to wear one. I mean, you're so free of the clearance of doorways.
Yes.
But yes, I wouldn't recommend the peacock feather. It's very old-fashioned. It's mainly for the spinsters these days. Yes, you'd be looking for... yes, Now, I will say this has a little bit of controversy on it. It's the Elpis feather. As you can see, very long, a rich, deep purple and a reddened tip. It's about 3 foot long. Or would you prefer...
Maybe just...
I do have a couple of hippogriff pinions.
Oh, they sound of interest.
Although if you really want to get flash, I do have a couple of Pegasi feathers. They are a bit boringly just plain white, but the most purest of white. Downside is you will have to explain what they're from, and I mean, the moment they look at them, they should know, but it's just a plain white feather. I'd really recommend the Elpis.
Yes, I think so. Let's go with that.
They'll be 20 gold apiece.
This is fine.
How many do you buy?
I'm thinking just the one.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah, she
not
jumps
go
in.
overboard.
It arcs beautifully. It's just, it's mostly straight, and then just at about the top third, it starts to lean back a bit. I must say it does set it off quite nicely. And the suit, let me see here. Yeah, some nice earthy browns will do nicely. Or would you prefer, what colors does Sir prefer? Green and purple, green and purple. It's an old stoner. That's an old stoner song.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe bronzes and greens.
Bronzes and greens. I could do actual metallic bronze.
Maybe that doesn't need to be metallic, but yes.
Doesn't need to be. That's good. It's good to specify. I believe the world isn't quite ready for that. They're already so passé with all this armor that's knocking about, so metallic is not fashionable just yet. You could be the one, but we'll hold off for now. Now what she works you up is very nice. It is a nice press shirt, a very short tie with a big chunky knot, waistcoat, and then a very simple but very angular jacket. It's got a little bit of a shoulder padding in. The cuffs are
yep.
fur, but a nice thin fur.
Excellent.
Trousers also very sharply creased. And tailcoat, of course. Sits either side of the actual tail.
Excellent.
There you go. And with the hat, that all sets off quite nicely.
Looking good. I like this.
Mm-hmm. And the total will be 470.
Sounds fair. I hand over said gold.
I assure you, though don't say it out loud, you will be the best dressed kobold in the town.
I have to do math.
That doesn't sound too hard to be the best dressed kobold, though.
Well, don't forget, they are nobles.
about
There
Ren-
is a Renenbocker belt.
Yeah.
It is a Renenbocker belt. This is a challenge.
Like, his feather isn't even the height of Renabok's hat.
Okay, yeah.
Don't forget that stylish little fucker.
Was that 470 or 370? Sorry.
470.
Okay.
All right, while he's doing math, who's next for somewhere? Hopefully with more people interacting. Because you all kind of forgot the purpose of actually having some conversations and all as you send Zarzul off alone.
Well, I was about to jump in, but it was kind of like, okay, we already kind of built the scene up now, so...
You've got to jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but having Zarzul on his own kind of did make sense.
It's how
I know
he'll
what
die.
you meant, but man, did that come out wrong.
Yep, it's how he'll die. Anyway.
No, Wolfgang will be there. I think. Maybe. Probably.
Well, yeah, the killer has to be there.
So, I believe this would be a little more 2 hour start. 2 hour stars on this. People have other opinions. I see that Zarzul apparently already took my advice.
You gotta say, Zarzul, despite all of the sharp edges and the stiffness looking of it, very comfortable, very wearable. It doesn't feel any different than just a heavy tunic and trousers.
Excellent.
Well, how about we take everybody to follow your suggestion, Cornelius?
Right, well then, follow me.
So you enter the cut the measure?
Yeah.
What's that music? Why are they playing that?
This is rich people music.
Yeah, there's a full orchestra just on the
And why is
sideline.
everybody shirtless?
Cut the
Wait, no,
measure,
that
man.
guy's
It's time to
wearing
get cut.
That guy's wearing a mesh t-shirt. I guess they're all not shirtless.
Oh yeah, this is where Cornelius' shirt does come off. That's just all of a sudden it's just ripped.
Yeah, but
This
ripped
is
like a
how
paper
far
bag,
from-
not ripped as in muscle.
Cornelius casts minor illusion.
This is how far you are from high society, that you do not understand these things.
There is actually music playing, although you can't work out from where. It's just filling the area. A single violin piece. Which does put you to mind of a very quiet temple and a wooden box in the middle. In the far corner there is, at first you think it's a suit hanging, and then you realize, no, there's a face there. But it looks like it's been carved from wood. Everything is very deeply gouged. Every wrinkle is set in. The nose is almost rectangular. And as he walks out to meet you all, you realize, oh, not human. No, Goliath. Skinny Goliath. Tall, skinny
Like this.
Goliath. Welcome.
Hello there.
Greetings, your customer.
Yes.
All
Yes, I believe so.
good. Our fees are not negotiable. Our rates will always stay as they are. Our prices are reasonable. And our work is unquestionable.
Sounds like my kind of business.
Very well. Who will I be fitting first?
Well, let's see.
He's slowly
I'll go
leaning
first.
forward.
Believe I'll be going first.
Very well, sir. Follow me. He turns, starts to walk, and no noise. He just seems to glide between the work area and the counter.
Does he pass by any mirrors?
Yeah, you can see his reflection.
Okay, good.
There is a discretionary changing and measuring room here, sir. The rest of you will have to wait. And he just follows you in. You can feel him like half an inch behind you.
Social distancing, man.
And the cubicle is quite small.
Oh.
And he doesn't back up.
I'll take a lot of room for you to do measuring here.
It is fine. I have been doing this for years, sir. Do not worry, there is nothing on you I have not seen before. 47 in the shoulders. And he just sets to work.
So I was kind of considering a vest.
Vests have gone out of favor, sir. Currently is the ruff, the cravat. It is the frills and curls on the surface.
Ah, I see.
It is ludicrous. They look like theatre clowns, but that is the fashion of these days, and one must be a follower of fashion. However, I will try to give you something that has dignity. Sir.
Sounds good.
And yeah, he measures, and you hear a few noises behind you. There is a couple of flashes of colored light. And you feel a jacket getting, just put onto your shoulders there. If you just allow me to help you inside this, sir. It is
Certainly.
like fucking obsidian. There is a sheen to this, but it is a deep black. As you raise up your sleeve, once you get your arm in, you can see there's a very thin. You have to bring your head up and squint. You can see a very thin lace cuff. A very slight curling to it, a little bit of pattern, but is barely emerging from the sleeve. The fit feels okay. A little bit of stiffness in the shoulders. As he helps the collar on, the collar itself rises up to most of the way up your neck and gets buttoned in place there. A ruff placed around it, although, again, very modest, very small. The cravat, however, extends almost nearly to the middle of your stomach. Many layers. Many, many layers. You look like a Viennetta. But it's an ice cream with a curly pattern.
Ah, right, yeah.
Yeah. But you can see there's very small little color changes in it between white and grey. Very slight. The trousers, rigid, pressed black, solid. You're basically an equivalent of a tuxedo. Do you wish for more of a flourish, sir? This is merely the test suit. Or we could get the opinion of your colleagues.
Well, I was considering that maybe perhaps a slightly bluer color in tone.
Bluer. Very well. We will step out into the main area. The lighting is better.
Very well.
Follow me. And he walks backwards, facing you, as he leads you out. And he's still that half-inch gap as well. You were just staring right at his chest. And you emerge onto the floor. I mean, it was comfortable to walk in. Still, stiff in places, but expected of a suit.
Yeah.
Which means the rest of you can now coordinate and communicate.
Yeah. So, hopefully not completely. Can't think of a word.
Not completely finished. I have yet to do the personal adjustments, but this is the stock suit for a man of promise.
Well, I must say that it certainly looks promise.
Would the dwarf gentleman be looking for a suit in this style?
Oh, no.
Well,
I've made other arrangements.
Very well.
We have some stuff for you.
But I don't need a suit.
we might have some ideas to incorporate a piece of plate mail armor for his.
I see.
I mean, I guess I could use a cloth or something.
You could use a tabard.
Yeah.
I see. Well, reaches under the desk. You can hear something horribly huge grating along, like a stone being dragged along granite. Before his hand emerges, it's just color swatches. Would sir like to point or choose the type of blue he wishes for.
Ah, yes, most certainly.
His head slowly turning to look at you all, standing there on the floor.
I'm kind of looking a little bit to see what he's looking at.
And then he just turns back to Cornelius. It's just like an automatic motion, like an animatronic. The head turns, it sees nothing, and turns back.
So yeah, around this color is what I'm pointing at.
Yes, excellent. Very royal. Well, it was some years ago. Reds have become more fashionable. Blues speak of allegiance.
Hmm. Well, I always have an affinity for this color. Although I do also have for a while, had orange. Of the more earthier tones.
Orange, I'd suggest, in the form of accessory. One would not like to walk around like a large, fresh fruit. Blue is fine as an altogether ensemble. Your accent is not of Raxis. I'm sure there will be no awkward mistakes.
Hopefully not.
The suit will be done in 2 days' time. My fee is 400 gold.
When is the party?
You got like 6 or 7 days.
I have
Oh, okay.
600 on me right now.
No,
You
no,
got-
no, he's talking about the time when
Yeah,
the
you,
party
you
is.
basically
Oh.
got a week to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. Fair enough.
Okay, yeah.
This is where those capers are going to come up.
Well, that certainly sounds very reasonable, sir.
Any further adjustments you wish to make for personal taste, sir? Would a longer coat be preferred? More on the cuff, less on cravat.
Rain kind of speaks up a little bit. You might actually look good in a longer coat.
Well, I would probably be more of a what was it called? They have like these half coats.
Yeah, like
This
a
is what we-
like a ringleader kind of coat.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a tailcoat.
Oh.
That's what they're called usually. Or are you thinking something else?
Well, it was more like as to arrive, and it was kind of popular in the Victorian
Ah,
era before because
Okay.
when you went into the room, you were wearing your suit, but you
yeah. I don't know.
weren't wearing a
Just an overcoat. Yeah.
overcoat.
Okay. Very well.
Perhaps an accessory of an overcoat.
Is the lady looking to have something that matches?
Immediately, nope.
Very
We're
well.
quite good.
And then he just turns to look at you, Cornelius. Name.
Yeah. Ah, yes, Cornelius Sent.
Very well. 2 days after lunch. It will be ready.
Sounds good.
Who is next?
Well, don't be shy. Come on. you
Yeah,
got
I'm
time.
looking between them because obviously not me.
Oh, and of course he points at you, Cornelius, back to the changing room.
I would assume we have Castalia and Congrats with us, yes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Either of you ready to go?
Didn't know I was going.
If you have something, then you're fine, but
He looks very awkward right now.
you are going to the party, yes?
Just kind of waiting for an invite.
I look at Castalia. Is he going?
I turn to Congrats. Would you like to go?
Yeah, I'd like to go with you somewhere, yeah.
Sure.
He looks a little confused at Rain.
Now that we've sorted that out.
She just kind of gives a little shrug. Well, do you have something, or would you like to acquire something new.
I have something that's should do the job. I kind of get to cheat with that culture-wise. That
fair
looks a little limiting. As long as you don't mind, Castelia.
Oh, not at all.
Right, right. Again, he's really not sure when he looks at Rain. So who is next?
Right then, the dwarf.
I place my hand on Malgrim's back and push him forward.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
face plants.
I'm kind of just looking around like, what?
Go on, Malgern.
What? It's just a tabard. Like,
And you need something probably for pants.
Very well, if Sir would like to stand up and walk over here.
okay. This is kind of unusual for Malgern, but he does so.
Oh, you are still the same height. Would you be looking for a suit or a dress?
I just perk up before Malgern even opens his mouth. He's looking for a suit.
Because you know.
But you-
you know it.
But you look at his face, and there's no weird mischievousness or anything in it. He is just flat asking. Yes, follow me. As he leads you into the changing room, and again, he is looming over you all the way.
I can imagine, and I'm very wide, so I can imagine this is very awkward.
Yep. Like he is very skinny compared to you. He was almost the sort of width of Cornelius.
Yeah.
But he's also about 7.5 feet tall.
So he's double my height. Got it.
Yeah, he's terrifying looking.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, he's almost double my height. Ugh.
And then it gets darker in the room. He leans over to help you with the jacket after you get undone. Would Sir also like accessories for the beard? We offer a variety of slings, sashes, clips, barrettes, and covers.
You got, do you have any, like, metal beads?
We can, sir, provide.
Yeah, I like the
Precious
sound of that.
metals or standard ironmongery?
Precious, obviously.
Yes. I would recommend silver for Sir's palette.
I nod excitedly. I like where this is going.
Yes. They will be 10 silver apiece.
You've got plenty for that.
When he sees your
Yeah.
face, he says, 1 gold each, as well, sir.
Let's see, guys.
Very well. They are asking for a tabard to go upon armor.
Yes, a breastplate.
Very well then, sir. Would you also like a loincloth to hang, or just a chest covering?
Just a covering would be fine.
Very well, sir.
And probably also a shirt for underneath. Since
No,
you're not gonna go in with armor around your arms, or are you?
No, I would.
Look a bit Roman centurion then.
Yeah. You'd have to have some sort of undershirt and some pants.
I would probably have an undershirt, maybe bracers, but I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, first thing is a shirt. It's a nice thick material. It feels like a good deep cotton.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. The tabard will not hang quite as fashionably as it should upon the armor. However, single shoulder has been most popular. And then, as you can see, sir, as he reaches down and starts to move it or manipulate your clothing for you, as he wraps up the tabard around your waist and then folds it
I
again.
jump back at this a little bit, making it.
It's
hard
kind of
on
like
the
you're a
material.
toddler getting dressed.
Yeah, I was like, "What's?"
And as we see here, the high
Oh.
fold just reaching past the gut is the fashion currently. You see, you mainly check the armor on the right breast, on the arm, but for the torso, the rest is covered.
Malgur knows some of those words, and he's just going with it.
I could write you instructions on how to dress in this way.
I just nod. I don't want to fully admit it, but I will nod.
Very well, sir. For trousers, I believe a heavier material at the thigh, and then slightly less so for the calf and foot. I imagine Sir will be wanting to keep these enchanted boots worn, so I offer a slipcover to keep them protected.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Do you have colors in your mind, sir, for your garment?
And he kind of just looks dumbfounded because he hadn't thought about colors.
Are you a dwarf of the hills, of the valleys, or just of the city?
Mountains, so we'll go with hills?
We will go then with some pale blues, a light purple, and mainly slate greys.
That works.
The tabard, however, will be a very rich green, to show the forests that grow upon a mountainside. Does Sir approve? And as he touches the sash, you see the color start to spread out from it. It is only a temporary illusion, sir. I will still have to work on the garment itself properly.
I just nod approvingly.
Is there any particular clan symbol that Sir would wish for?
No.
Very well. Let us show your friends, colleagues, acquaintances, and we will deal with the price. And again, he walks backwards watching you, but he's leaning over.
Just kind of moonwalks backwards.
Like there's barely enough room for you to turn around in this hallway as well.
And he's just like, "Nyeh."
Well, it's better than him just sliding backwards.
The complete cost of the outfit will be a mere 220. This includes a good assortment of silver beads. I have selected numerous sizes so Sir will not look dull. At a later date, you may bring them here for inscription at Sir's choice.
It just occurred to me that this is the first time we've seen Malgurn actually looking somewhat decent.
Oh yeah, he
And
looks
that's why
pretty
I'm-
tidy. Although again, very classical Roman.
Yeah. But I'm kind of dumbfounded because I'm just, this is not something I've ever considered once in my life.
Yeah.
I lived in a fucking mountain. This is just not something we do.
The green really sets off his eyes.
You feel fancy.
I look a bit flabbergasted.
It's also when he realizes that half of his beard has actually been stuffed into the sash covering bit of the tabard.
Oh, yeah.
That is the fashion, sir. To not put it full on display and therefore not be as intimidating. For this is not the field of battle, this is the area of culture.
I just look somewhat disappointed.
That's a very lovely color on you, Malgurn.
It will be ready in one day.
Oh,
One day, that works.
Name?
Malgurn?
Very well. And then he just points at the changing stall for you to go back and get your own ship.
I do, begrudgingly, because I'm kind of walking back going, so is this how Cornelius feels all the time? It's like, is this Cornelius? Like, oh, this is weird.
If the ladies wish, I will bring out my assistant to deal with them in greater comfort.
certainly.
Very well. As he slides along the counter into the back room, out emerges the same person, but a foot shorter. Like, exactly the same carved features, even the wrinkles. My father says you wish to get dressed correctly. And then she just stands there with hands crossed, waiting.
and Cornelius puts his hands at the back of Castalia and
Pushes her forward like she did
Forward.
that.
Yeah.
Kagrat's hand quickly goes on Castalia's tail to hold her in place. Flashes a look at the wizard.
How does Castalia feel about getting her tail pulled?
I just push Rain forward.
I mean, it happened last night.
I look slightly befuddled at Castalia, and I point out, Castalia, I don't need clothes. I've got clothes.
Yes, this young lady is the one who is in need of assistance for some a shift of clothes.
Kagrat slowly lets go. We're still looking at you, Cornelius. We're trying to volunteer a girl.
Cornelius is just looking quizzically at Eckergast, not entirely sure what this was all about.
Very well, please step up here.
Certainly.
You are a hell-touched, I see. This
Yes.
will bring additional challenge slightly. Very well, follow me. But she waits for you to go first. She just stands there waiting,
Oh, I step forward and past.
and you just... Like, your tail ends up getting caught against the wall as she just pins in against you.
Well, I suppose I make myself way to the changing rooms.
Yep. She starts measuring carefully and looking you over in the mirror and just saying, "Is Madame willing to dress her horns, or are they just to be kept as is?"
Maybe something with a nice ribbon.
The current fashion, although minimal for your kind, is gold chains, hoops, things that are linked and put on. But I can do ribbon. The tail
Thank
as
you.
well, is that to be kept uncovered? We have a wide range of bustles, skirts, and hoops.
Could I see a few?
Very well, and she just... Like, it's a lot of back and forth as she scoots along to the back room and back again. And you can see like... It runs the gamut, sort of. There's some that reminds you a bit of home with how just over-designed they are. And a few that are quite simple. There's also just the terrifying cages that are the skirt hoops. They look like there's something Droop was probably kept in for a while. The skirts themselves are various pleated, frilled, normal, plain. Some that are very heavily geared towards the backside. Like they're intentionally weighted to sit more upwards at the back. And basically whatever else you can imagine, really. Because this outfit appears most clearly in your head. The fuller skirt is still in fashion. There is a tendency towards a thinner skirt and large slit, but it is more for the less reputable women of the court.
Well, I suppose full skirt then. I want to make a good impression.
A plunge front and or back has been coming into fashion lately, although most of the courtly women are too corpulent to pull the look off. So you are free there to make a choice of modesty or exposure. And the left sleeve is the current fashion trend. All go with a bare right arm, very few go with a glove. But the left is sleeved from shoulder to wrist.
Glove for the right, immodest in front, modest in back.
Very well. And Madame, a shawl, sash, or veil, a head decoration is vital here. A fur wrap is also a current fashion trend, although we do not sell such a thing here. But I can recommend you one at one of our competing stores. Can't believe I've done this for about 40 minutes. I hope you're entertained.
Let's go.
What'd you say, sorry, Pio?
Let's go with the sash.
Very well. Does Madame have any color she particularly chooses? I would recommend a deep orange.
You know, I was thinking something green, but a deep orange definitely sounds good.
Green would also work. Or a pale blue.
Would it be a lighter green or a darker green?
That is up to the lady's choice. And if she's helping you get into the dress and all. Oh yeah, this is, the skirt is a little tough. It is always fighting against your legs kind of thing. Everything else feels all right, but like it's been a while since you've probably worn a full skirt, possibly even just childhood being presentable. But, you know, it's a nicely done thing. It feels alright. With a full hand to elbow length glove on the other hand, which feels a little weird considering the other hand is uncovered.
Mm-hmm.
And then she leads you out, again, backing up, like her father. And out come the color swatches.
Yes, a lighter green would be perfect.
Very well. Tallying all this up, it will be ready in 2 days.
Wonderful.
At a price of 470 gold.
All right.
I believe we forgot to come to a decision upon ribbon, yes. Very well. The same color?
Yes.
Very well. I must say you will match quite nicely with the rest of our products.
Thank you. I am eager to see your work.
Well, you have seen most of it already. It will just be finer tuned.
I
Your
look
name?
forward. Castalia von Palmia.
Very well. Is that all then?
Yes.
I was addressing the group as a whole.
Ah.
Yes, I believe so.
Congrats, hand slowly retracts from rain.
She just kind of gives him a look like, what?
He just shrugs. Everyone was doing it.
Like, you just now noticed what?
Apparently you've all got to be volunteered by the other one.
Oh, no, I've got other arrangements.
Zarzul, your suit is finished and you're wearing it.
Hey.
Everyone else got to wait.
As a matter of fact, Rain is going to suggest that they all meet up later because she's going to pop on out. Because she's got an idea.
Okay.
That's dangerous. So she popped.
You're not sure when it happened, but the daughter swapped for the father again, and he's behind the counter waiting for customers.
But did we bring Troop with us or not?
Did you?
Yeah, I thought we did.
I
Okay
would
then.
assume we would have.
Yeah, he also needs a suit.
I thought he was going to take care of the pets.
Suit is
Well,
a
we
strong
didn't
word.
know yet because if Orbinson will be there,
I mean, they might as well
Really
get Droop some clothes.
You
Yeah.
want to put Troop in charge? Really? Just think about that for a minute.
he can watch the. Because let's face it, he'll have Wolfgang to help.
Oh, so you got eaten by the Displacer Beast, and
He's got spells. He's going to give Lorna a very confusing time.
I'm sure.
Everything's a bird. And then she murders Pufflesworth.
Why are the badgers floating? Must kill.
And then they explode.
Yeah.
Droop's just standing there looking at you all.
Well, come on.
Oh, He steps up. He is visibly scared. I guess I want a suit. Very well. Follow me. And you can hear his whining getting quieter as he walks along the hallway and out of sight.
Don't worry, I'll be right out here, Droop.
He's asking questions.
Yes. What do you want?
I
You
don't
need to know
know.
if they're fitting you.
I have no idea. I don't know. Very well, sir. I will give recommendations and you can work from there. And by the time he comes out, it's quite close to Cornelius's suit, although the cravat is gone, and instead of the full jacket, he just has a very simple little waistcoat. And a nice little bow tie. He also has a small, slightly flattened top hat. I feel tidier.
Well, you certainly should be. Now, is that the color you want for it, Droop?
I like the blue. Not this one. And he picks a very pale blue, almost like summer sky blue. It's a prom suit. Very well, and for his size, I will charge a mere 60 gold.
Okay, then.
I believe you will pick it up along with yours, yes.
Yes, might as well make it convenient.
I must say I back your choice of adoption. I, too, adopted my child.
I see. It's certainly been an interesting day. We'll be back later to pick up our suit as they get done.
His will be ready a mere day ahead.
Okay, then. Well, thank you very much. And yeah, this just with the pushing troop out.
Yeah,
It's time to leave.
I'm gonna be one to say that was weird. You looked all right in the dress.
We're back in his more casual clothes now,
Yeah.
and have carefully packed up.
Yeah, he's
the
got a
suit
very
and
nice,
feather and
well-ribboned
everything.
box.
Oh, speaking of, yeah, I would have gone out, since I'd gone out earlier, I would have been looking for the kobold.
You find him easily.
I was supposed to say, he's not that hard to find.
Plus, you know where you left him.
Yeah. Zarzul, how did it go?
I have a suit. This is ready. I am prepared.
I'm thinking,
How
are
do
you
you?
going to... Well, they're still getting Droop done up and everything, so it's not too difficult. I think they're all going to look quite smart.
Got yours sorted?
Well, I was thinking I have a slight problem. Obviously, I don't need the actual clothes, I just need the design. But the design is very different from here than what we were doing in the coast. Well, the individual in that shop, were they a very cheery sort?
Kind.
Distressingly so.
She kind of blinks at him. How do you mean?
It was a little strange, but very helpful.
Oh. Well, because I'm looking to see if I can instead purchase just a design and then we just make the dress suit the design.
You don't think she blinked once when you were in the store?
Do you think she'd be a sort that'd be easy to work with under an abnormal situation? Or they? Come to think of it, I don't know it's a she at this point.
It's worth asking.
I suppose. We have to wait for them to get done anyways. Care to join?
Yes, why not?
All right, in that case, then I head in.
As you're heading into the Fey Garden, yeah?
Yep.
Greetings! Welcome to my magic realm. Are you a customer?
Yes, hopefully.
Please step on up then. What can I help you with? And you notice now the white painted teeth that are not real teeth. The mouth that does not close at this point. And the fake pointed ears. She herself is just dressed in a very simple, solid green dress that goes from neck downwards. Long sleeves and everything.
She has barely half a second pause, realizes that they have seen far weirder things at the other shop, and then hops up. You see, I've got a rather abnormal situation.
Do you?
Yes. We are looking I believe you've helped my friend, and I gesture over to Zarzul.
Oh yes, it's always pleasant to help with the kobolds.
Yes.
I have outfitted the majority of Redenbach's spouses, along with the man himself.
I'm looking to go to the same party, but you see, I don't need a full dress.
Oh, are you the entertainment?
No, I'm also going as a guest. You see, and then I just kind of poof, and I make my dress change into something a little bit lighter.
Oh, that's... Yes, alright. She's smiling a little bit less.
Yes, I figured. But I'm looking to purchase instead several accessories that would be acceptable, and I'm looking to see if I could purchase a design to wear.
You see, it's not... I am happy with the accessories. We'll begin with there and see how good of a customer you're going to be.
She's figuring.
So what are you looking in the realm of? We do from top to bottom.
Well, I suppose... First we're going to have to look at head coverings. Because I take it that's in fashion now, yes?
Oh, yes, of course. A lady must have at least one key accessory. I do various fur wraps, feather boas, along with just feathers to be jutted into the hair, threaded in. We do beads, diamonds. Not real diamonds. I will be playing with that there, but they look almost real. We do circlets, we do danglers. I like to use that as a catch-all because there are some stunning fashions just coming out of Jurat these days, from a pierced nose with a chain right around to the ear of just dripping with jewels. It's very, very eye-catching. Do you have any piercings yourself?
I do not.
Very well then, we can move those aside.
Yes.
We have various manner of necklaces, pendants, veils, shawls, wraps. I have multiple kinds of fur stoles.
I do like, that sounds like a decent idea. Let's see what we've got in fur.
Very well here. As she starts to open up a door, you can see the usual, weasel, stoat, fox, goose. Just a whole gooseneck, but it's about 6 foot long of gooseneck.
No, she would not be going for that. Probably looking more at the stoats.
Owlbear.
No, Pufflesworth wouldn't like that.
It's just horrible glassy eyes as it hangs there.
Yeah, Pufflesworth would not like that.
We also have these ones where the head is too large to attach. And there's just an assortment of tubes of fur of various colors and coarseness and thickness. This one is a particular gem. This is the downy fur of a deep cave spider. Now, obviously, no part of the spider apart from the fur itself has been kept. It is a texture unlike any you felt.
When stroking the fur, you can even sometimes hear it purr.
Oh no, she does not bring it out to be touched. You get that experience if you pay for it.
Huh.
I also have here a variety of soft-grown mosses. They are Fey gifted, so they are not just going to be wrapping turf around your neck. No. These are beautiful. You can have an entire lawn of just gentle, dew-touched grass around your neck for refreshment, and just the feel of nature upon you.
Oh? That actually sounds very intriguing.
There is a minor upkeep, of course. They must be kept. They must have some sunlight. In fact, it's rather the opposite care of the rest of these here. It must be allowed sunlight and a little watering in the morning. But the enchantments keep the rest of it all going, and the length will stay the same.
I'm actually very interested in that.
I have here crabgrass, bluegrass, just a nice, simple Sakona lawn. I also have here what I call the carpet of the forest, and it's a very dense but very fine, sort of fine-haired kind of moss.
Yes, actually, could we take a bit more of a look at that one?
Yes,
The last one.
I thought you would enjoy that one. As she looks at the flowers curling around her ears.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why she's kind of like, that might work, because she has the whip.
Very well. As you can see here, quite lovely. It is 90 gold, but as you can see, it is a beautiful work. And it is of my own design. It is not from the Fuggle Clump. Therefore, it can be trusted.
And she does absolutely laugh. Oh, I totally get the idea on that. This looks absolutely divine. You do great work.
Mm-hmm. It comes in matching wraps, scarves, sashes. I have been experimenting with a skirt, but at the moment it is more of a tribal loincloth. It is not yet ready for the full ball floor.
Well, that's quite understandable.
I can see you have a slight point to you. Do you have any regional symbols, ritualistic practices, or decorations that you wish to engage in?
No, I'm a complete open book.
Very well, then. You know nothing of your people, so we will work with what we have. I could also recommend for you ink. I am also a tattooist.
I do believe I'll probably have to pass on that one.
It is not the fashion of the courts. I am just advertising my services.
Well, I don't think that'll quite work. I'm also of the cloth, and that's not necessarily the in thing with us.
Except for Vasune worshippers who have got all their tramp stamps.
Yes,
They're the party people.
That's a different group.
and of course stuff like all the evil gods, they love to have their tattoos, man. Be edgy.
Yep. That's why she wants nothing to do with that. She does not need to complicate things any further.
Very well. I will say in the current fashion trends, I have heard a lot about the covered left arm and all, but the hand itself should have the finery on it. As she slides out an assortment of rings. Some of them are linked together. The right hand should be kept just gloved, just covered, with nothing upon it adorning it.
Very well. I'd be notably looking at the rings, the double rings.
Mm-hmm. Yes, those ones are just a mere 10 gold.
Very well. Do you believe it should be more? Should we be looking more silver or gold?
As she leans in really close to you. And then you're realizing, yeah, she's not blinking. I believe gold here. Maybe you could get away with 1 or 2 things of platinum, but silver is not right for your complexion, and no lady attends a party with anything below silver.
Oh, of course not.
I would also not recommend any gaudy gems. Just simple patterned metal or flat.
Very well. I would look for one of the rings that fits the description.
If a gem is to be worn anywhere, it is at the ankle or upon the bust. Or the clavicle region, I suppose you call it.
Very well. I take I point. This looks like it could be delightful.
Yeah, simple enough. 10 gold.
All right. Make the payment.
Does the dress also cover shoes?
I believe what's
Doesn't.
the fashion nowadays? It doesn't.
No.
No, it does not.
Well, as you are somewhat pointed, you do have the option for barefoot.
I think I'd prefer something quite lovely.
Open-toed and slightly raised is also it's becoming the trend right now, although it's more of a suffering for the fashion these days in this weather.
Well,
But the heel currently is modest, although some have decorative spurs. You see, it's all very much linked to the knighthoods. That's why one arm is covered. That's your shield arm. The other is kept bare for your sword. That's the symbolism they're going with here. Is quite ridiculous. But soon a new trend will catch on. Don't you worry. And it will
that's
start
usually how it
here.
works.
I assure you. She's not listening to you.
Yeah, I figured. Yes, let's go with. Yes, an open toe, small heel. I'll just have to deal.
Very
You have
well.
to do something a little for fashion.
Oh yes, of course. 50 gold.
All right, and she pays that up, no problem.
And of course, they check out the colors to make sure you get what you want.
Yep.
Now, a design for the dress. Are you going conservative, flouncy, a happy occasion, or a somber bit of practicality? I need to know
No.
what you are comfortable with wearing before I can start deciding.
I like a very lovely mix between nothing completely outlandish, but I don't like it to be somber or boring.
Well, let me show you a few things here. Now, as you can see of his flouncy dress, I mean, look at the size of his skirt. It's like a dwarf is laying down with his arms outstretched, keeping it all pressed outwards. No good at all. I have here slimline, close to the body, tight. You can see all the lines and curvature. This will be what catches on, but it may be too much right now. So we go to the next step where there is an absence of fabric, but also a looseness to it. As you can see here, the back is gone, but the front is suspended. There is movement. There is folds of cloth. Much like the skirt here, you can see layers and ruffles. There is a freedom to it, a breeze blowing.
I actually quite like that.
And here we have one that is just the singular bodice kind. Almost tavern wench, but expensively so. Again, very tight, slimline skirt, but thin decoration. As you can see here, lines of lace and silk. And then we move on to the body, and it is just solidly fronted. There is nothing to glimpse at, nothing to be distracted by, but the back plunging. And yes, of course, I kind of fixed the required sleeve and the ridiculous accoutrements that they're asking for in this current fashion world.
Yes, I do kind of like what you suggested. I just had a brain fart. Oh, I did say that in character, but I had a brain fart.
Be loose and exposing.
There we go.
Yes.
Yes, that one.
I believe they called it a bit of a goddess look. And you could tell by the way she says it, no one but her has been saying that. Yes. This is still an experimental design. I'm still working on it, still trying to make it acceptable, but I'll let you walk away having it stored in your mind. I suppose that's how it works.
Yes, as long as I know about roughly what it is, I can recreate roughly.
It will be 300 gold. This is one of my projects. This is something important.
Very well. Let me put on a general idea, and then I can make sure that it gets your approval. And floop.
Yeah, she starts the work immediately, tugging, pulling, just unfolding bits, just making sure it's all sort of sitting right. No. Now we cinch it in at the hips, and we build up a little more. No, we can't have that hanging there. It just makes you look like you have a gut. So we tighten that up, And we just keep the folds of material loose around the bust line and the plunging neckline. Yes, there we go. The back, utterly exposed, but we'll do a line of gems here, just hanging there, yes. And then, of course, we pad out around the neck. Don't want you getting stiff shoulders now while you're wearing this. The skirt will do a nice diagonal cut here, so shorter at the back, but only, it's still below the knees. It's still perfectly fine. And then a little longer at the front for a more sort of delicate walk. But also, you won't be tripping yourself up by the tension of the fabric.
And of course, Rain makes all the adjustments as stated before.
As you can see, I'm a fashion master. Very well, 300 gold.
And of course, she would pay.
Yep.
But she'd also point it. So it's the completely low down in the front, and it's modestly revealing up front, but not horribly so, if I recall.
Yeah, it's just, if you want exacts, let's think about this here. We'll say like an inch below bust, like breast line is where it stops plunging.
Okay, so yeah, not horribly revealing in any way, shape, or form.
Except
More
from
just the
behind.
overcut. Yeah. She would make a would question if it could raise the back could be raised up just a bit.
Well, I suppose it's your dress now. I wouldn't, but then I'm just the creator of this wonderful product.
Then she would
But if
point
you
out
really must, then why not spoil it?
well, we can keep it as it is if that is the case. I just was inquiring.
You're definitely not wearing your winter underwear with it.
No, absolutely not.
There we go. That's what, an hour and 20 minutes of just fashion.
That's to be expected.
I hope you all are entertained.
Absolutely.
Very.
Are you sure you
Malgern
aren't
has been touched in
me?
places he didn't even know he had.
Are we creating a Fallout character and it's me?
No, I just like the design shit. That's why I made the world in a campaign setting.
Yeah. And like when I think of a tabard, I think of just a cloth, with a head hole in it, just draped over some armor and
It's just if
fastened
you
with a belt.
It's just if I
You're
gave
like
you
this-
guys items and armor, I usually just gave a brief idea of it and then let you guys imagine what it was because it's your
No.
stuff.
Now I've got festooned fabric draped over the side. It looks all fancy. Like
That's why I didn't go into full detail about, say, Castalia's dancer outfit. You know it's silks and jewels and chains, but the actual arrangement's pretty much up to her. Or the breastplate. It's just a very shiny, nice breastplate. I don't say it goes, from neck to stomach. So that's done.
Yeah.
So, you've got the rest of the day ahead of you.
Yeah, so basically for Cornelius, it's about making plans about being able to make sure that everyone knows what the etiquette is about going to these kind of parties.
You know what? Since Malgern and Zarzul are there, give me a persuasion roll, Cornelius. And you two, get primed with your intelligence rolls.
Oh,
Is it going to be with advantage? Because I would be assisting him and backing him up.
Do you know, though? You've been out of the circle for a while.
yeah.
Yeah, but the general customs stay about the same.
Also, importantly, the Cornelius and Rain working together issue.
yeah. I don't think
All right.
Cornelius
So
would be-
you want to help? Okay, Cornelius.
Like
roll
he's
it.
laying out the dinner table, and he doesn't know because he never laid it out himself. He just remembers how it looked at the start. And then Rain actually, no, the fork goes here, then here, then here. No, it didn't look like that at all. It was much finer. You're years out of date. No, it went this way, then that.
So what you're telling me is Cornelius has to roll with disadvantage.
And not just a straight
Because Rain is-
persuasion
Rain
as
is helping.
as we get back to the house, all sat at the table, just sitting there. Droop creating all the finery.
Yeah, Droop remembers how it's being placed.
He's classically trained.
Congrats, not sitting at the table learning. Who else is studying?
I mean, I'm not really learning. Like
Yeah.
Malgern.
Is
more like
Castalia there
playing
to learn?
along.
Well, I have to. I was gonna take Malgert to get his measurements to fit his breastplate, but if he's here learning, I can't really.
Oh,
do
You
but,
can also
I mean,
do that part first.
that's easy. Yeah, that's easy enough to do.
That,
That's minutes
we
with
could
you.
just say we did that after the dressing, like
Yeah.
it was implied, I guess. Yeah.
Or you could have a scene where you could do some role playing.
We could, but would you?
Okay, Corvus DK.
Well, let's move on then.
Well,
time to move on.
Castalia, Malgern, you're at Yosef's, I imagine.
All right.
Mhm.
I lift up my hand to wave and call out, Yosef, you in?
That's me, Bonnie Devil Girl. Who's this? Another worker you brought in?
Oh no, he has a breastplate he needs tailored to, well, to fit him for an upcoming event.
You know, the embarrassing thing is, it's a magic item, so he just puts it on and fits.
Oh,
I was wondering if they were going to remember this. Yeah.
Well, I asked you. You said you mentioned a couple of times that it just needed fitting.
I didn't. Yeah,
No,
you did.
the plate armor needs fitting.
Yeah.
You picked up a suit of plate armor. She's talking about the breastplate, wasn't she?
No, it's the plate armor. I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
no, yeah. I always thought it was the plate armor.
It's the breastplate for the plate armor, basically. He's just
Okay,
going
just
into
taking
full-
that. All right.
Yeah, but eventually I would like full
Okay.
suit.
Because I'm just reminding you guys, you've got a fucking magic breastplate as well that is sat unused.
Yeah, but isn't it less AC than Splint? So, and my Splint makes me sneaky, but it doesn't really help.
Anyway. Okay then. Alright, so you want to fit it up? That'd be easy enough. Fuck it, we'll see what the job is first before I start thinking of the price. You've got more than 10 gold on you, eh?
I just looked to Castalia.
You do.
Yeah.
I'm not even there, but you do.
Was this your
Yeah.
big hairy son or something? I didn't think you got it on with that dragonborn that quickly. You can tell me yourself, can't you? You've got a beard by now.
Yeah, I've got it.
There we go. Simples. Now, do you want her to do it for you, or are you alright being unsupervised?
I think I can handle myself.
You probably have, I.
Kind of give him a grimace.
So what do you do, Castalia? This is your scene.
I'm just along for that. I don't know anything about armor.
To be fair, Kagratz is just along for the ride as well. He's just sort of hanging around.
How to make armor fit dwarf? Do not know.
Oh, it's easy enough. What I do is I take this plate armor, right? Okay, it's not all fastened in, so that's easy enough. I take this off, right? You take off your shirt, sling your beard over it, and then I press it on you and I hammer it until it fits. And if I hear you complain once, then it turns out you're half elf, son.
You know, that's not far off from how Malgern pictured it in his head. That really isn't. I was like, yeah, I just.
Yars, we take measurements, we get a shape out, and then I use my perfect skills, or she does it. She's actually a daft hand with a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas
I'm not
you just
even
look-
listening to this. Malgern's just kind of getting his shirt off and everything.
Alright then, let's get to work as Yosef claps together his big soot-covered gloves and throws him down onto the pile of Malgern's clothes.
And Malgern probably doesn't even notice.
Nope.
Congrats, just
There are worse things in that bunch of
Yeah,
clothes.
Congrats, just looking around.
I'm kind of just bundling the beard together, kind of propping it up on my arms, like getting it out of the way.
No point peeping, Dragon Man. Your armor's just finished. I'll bring it round to you, no worries. Do you have a living address, or shall I just follow my employee home?
We'll be
Actu-
heading there next, so Al can take it with us.
Yeah. He notices how Castalia downplayed that, so he's just still feeling awkward.
Poor man.
Kind of the same thing, yeah.
Poor man.
All right, let's get him measured. And Joseph handles you like a crate. One that he doesn't have any fond feelings for. You're just thrown about. He is not as strong as you can feel it, but he's a dwarf who knows how to use his momentum.
Like, he's not as strong as me, but he can.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
Like, you could resist, but he knows how to throw his weight around to get you moving.
Yeah.
Alright. As he gets you flopped down onto your back onto an anvil, he's looking. You were at the drinking contest, weren't you?
I.
Yeah, you lost.
Yeah. Kind of displeased that he brings that up. Like, yeah. Of
It's
course
alright,
that's
it's
what he
alright as he slaps your cheeks. I heard you got second place, you're fine. And then he steps over you so his crotch is over your head as he starts to measure across your stomach.
I thought the weirdest touches were going to come from the guy when he was measuring me for the other thing, but this is.
It's but there's a very
It's more
impersonal
back,
nature
it's
to it.
fine.
Like he's not even noticing you got a head.
Just a slab of meat.
Fuck me, this one's got a gut on him. Alright. So do you only eat what you kill?
I eat whatever the bar is serving.
Oh yeah, that's becoming evident. You better be getting into some long distance sprinting. Or this is only gonna fit the once.
And now I'm suddenly having a crisis. Like, am I fat because the boots are helping me? I'm not burning the calories. Like, and Valgurn's doing all these calculations in his head. Like, shit, are the boots making
As you're
me
doing
fat?
this, he presses like a metal plate over you onto your stomach and then throws the breastplate onto it and starts to hammer. You only feel like a trembling shock each time he does it, but he just ignores that you're there. As he's just forcing the metal a little bit wider out.
As awkward as this is, he's had worse. So you know what? I'm just gonna roll with this. So what? He's making my rolls jiggle. Whoopie-doo.
But you can't see his face, but he's fucking grinning at Castellian congrats. It's that full look of I can't believe this fucking idiot let me do this.
Yeah, I can't see his face, so I can't call him on it. Fuck.
He starts to whistle while he hammers.
I mean, I'm a brewer, not a blacksmith.
He's hoping the dings are drowning out. He just whispers across Castellia, I was finished about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And off comes the breastplate, off comes the plates he put down, and there's just this big red mark on your gut now.
Yeah. Got
Then
some, like, impressions.
He helps you up from the anvil by the scruff. He just grabs a fistful of back hair and hauls you up.
Okay. As long as he grabbed back hair, that's fine. I was like,
Yeah.
he grabs my...
No, he wouldn't grab a beard. He's dwarf. He knows better.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, don't go there, man. There will be a fight.
There we go. You're going to be dressed for the ball.
And I'm kind of just like, my ears are still kind of ringing, like, yeah. Thanks. I guess that's how that works. I wasn't sure. Yeah, I wasn't expecting blacksmithing to be like that, but it's just fine.
Every time you're looking away and he's turned from you, he's smiling.
Yeah.
Castellian congrats get it full force.
I'm still kind of dazed from the whole experience. I was like, this is fine.
He puts on his gloves and he helps you put your shirt back on, so it's just big, massive suit handprints all over you. A last pat on the top of the head. There you go, Sonny. You're fine now.
Suddenly, I just noticed there's like some soot in my hair. So like, son of a bitch.
There we go. There he goes. He walks you over because you're still a bit dizzy and
Yeah.
concussed, and you feel your hand caught in the big Dragonborn's hand. He'll walk you home. You'll be fine there. And he walks off back to the forge. On the bright side, it's free. I needed this.
I'm not complaining. Considering how much I spent on the goddamn tabard, that's fine. That's I mean, nobody's gonna remember this, right? Right?
Oi, Cast Iron, you want me to do the rest of the armor for him?
I think he means UPO.
Yeah, you got a nickname, Cast Iron.
Sure.
Alright, that one I will charge for you, but it'll be, 20 gold. I can beat this about in me off time. I'll still have a chuckle about it.
Sounds good.
Got an idea for the rest of him, he's basically dwarf shaped.
What kind of armor is it?
It was plate armor.
Plate armor?
Yeah.
So would that be like a half plate, or is it actually plate armor in the book?
Full plate, I think.
Full plate?
Yeah.
Just so I can look it up. Out of curiosity.
18 AC, man.
Oh, fuck.
It's the highest you can go. It's one above your splint.
It's the good shit.
You've had that sitting there for quite a while.
Yeah.
Congrats walks you along the street, Malgern.
I assume I'm about halfway home. I gain my wits. I kind of try to pull my hand away.
Yeah, he lets go the moment he feels you resisting.
Yeah. Okay, good. So there's not going to be any awkwardness there.
Oh, the awkwardness is already there.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah, but none of you assholes were there to see it, so that's fine.
got swept up in it, sorry.
It's fine. I was definitely not what I expected from an armor fitting.
Yeah.
But I'm not a blacksmith by trade. Kind of looking at Castalia like, is that normal? Kind of giving it a look like that happens, right? Like that. Not asking, but just kind of looking at her face, trying to get something for her face, like that's supposed to go right, right?
I'm just smart.
Well, tell you what, why not? Let's roll for it. Deception versus insight. Can you get a read of Castalia's expression?
Probably.
I cannot. Oh.
The problem is, you were too drunk during the last time you had armor fitted, so this is probably what happened? Yeah, you remember your head ringing?
Yeah, it's like...
Congrats doesn't look at him, but he just puts his arm over Castalia. What a good day.
That's perfect.
And now we get more intelligence fun. As the three of them arrive home to see Cornelius and Droop setting up a fancy dinner table. With Rain assisting, maybe. Probably hindering. Droop's the only one who puts anything down with authority, though.
Good to see you come back. So, I've kind of put up a little schedule here for the next couple of days. We're going to be practicing some certain etiquettes that's going to be kind of universal for these kind of meetings. And participation is mandatory, I would like to remind you.
Congrats' arm falls a little bit off Castalia. As he wonders, does he count for this? Is he technically part of this? Or is he just on the sideline here?
Oh, are you not going to be having dinner with us during the party, Kurgats?
Suppose I would, yeah.
Then I suppose you're going to be with Kurgats. Take a seat.
Yeah, alright. He pulls out one chair for Castalia, though.
I take the offered chair with a smile and a nod.
Yeah. Might as well have some pleasant view whenever we go through this. Normally I just make a few excuses, pretend I'm very uncultured and uncivilized, and they just ignore it because they're expecting a big dumb adventurer. The fuck is this? As he holds up one of his spoons, but it's just slightly smaller than one spoon and slightly larger than another.
Don't start moving around. That's step 18. We'll cover that now. And then
Slowly puts it down as Cornelius is speaking.
Yeah. Step number 1. Before we take the seat. And yeah, that's where it's just going to have to start. That's right.
Alright then. Persuasion, Cornelius. Rain,
So
you
I
can...
can use my inspiration for this, right? If I fuck it up.
You have... Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be taken right off.
Roll again.
Oh,
Yep.
God.
I love how inspiration has almost never helped the party.
Oh,
Yep.
it has one. It has once. I
Yeah,
didn't burn
once.
down the fucking forest.
Wait, it did kind of once when I dispelled that invisibility spell
Yep.
outside of Raxis.
Yeah. Yeah, she's right. That's pretty good, though.
Yeah.
Rain, you also
Roll
get
the
to roll
fucking
persuasion. Because we're
Okay.
going to use totals this time.
Bird's persuasion for 3.
Because free people are helping and free people are learning.
19.
Because Congrats is just going through the motions here.
We have a 19.
Nice. That's Droop.
Hey. That's your
I meant-
boy!
I imagine what is going on here is that Cornelius is saying it as it is. Rain is able to translate
He's explaining the
into
traditions and the reasons. She's explaining what you do.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Droop
I'm
isn't heard.
I'm translating it into normal speech.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just thinking, like, he's saying, and this is the salad fork, which 200 years ago first came into production and became a focal point of many dinner tables. She's saying, you use this one for salad first, then you use this one. And Droop is just way too nervous. This is a whole crowd. And now, intelligence saves from the dum-dums. Well,
Are we
not
going
saves,
to-
just intelligence.
Oh, fabulous. I was about to say, we're actually trying to learn.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm learning!
And Congrats does not roll because he's not paying attention to this, because he's just gonna bluff his way as the uncultured savage he usually does.
It's like that scene from Titanic. What do we do? I don't know. Just start on the outside and work your way in.
There is a drip. There's a little bit of a drip in these lovely conjured plates, as Zarzul and Malgern are both drooling a little bit. Zarzul's eyes are a bit glazed over, and he's just sort of fumbling in his pack for something to feel sensation with. And Malgern is just trying to act like the stoic dwarf, but the mouth is a little too open.
Yeah.
Castalia, you've picked up pretty much the basics. You're not going to be able to recite why the spork salad was invented. Why there was the boomerang spoon in 1942. But you've got the idea that I pick this one up and use it and don't use it for anything else.
All I can just imagine is a noble meeting of goblins and bugbears, and just one bugbear lifts up a plate, throws it, then a goblin bends a spoon and hits all the bugbears across the face with it.
I mean, it's a monk weapon.
That's exactly how it happened.
I kind of look at Cornelius and I go, I think we're in trouble.
Ah, yes. I can see it's time for as he kind. You can see. You probably didn't anticipate, but he bends down at the table and then a large stack of paper go up. I see two are needing remedial homework.
Congrats, just
And they're up.
scratching at his eyebrow ridge for a moment. Hand reaching across for Castalia's.
Is he looking in my direction when he says this?
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at Sazul and Malgern.
I am giving you the dirtiest look I can muster right now. Like, you son of a bitch. Like, it's a fucking fork.
It's a very important fork. That is the dessert fork, not the salad fork. You do not want to be messing it. You will not be messing around, or you will be the laugh at the party.
How the fuck is there a soup fork?
The minute he looks away from me, I'm kind of mimicking him. And you don't want to be the deputy pennies. I'm Cornelius, and I'm a
Do you have something else you wish to share with the class, Melgren?
And I'm too good to eat with my hands. But
No,
yeah,
eat with
Congrats just
hands.
reaches out for Castalia's hand, holds it, and squeezes lightly. Just to get through this.
We can get through this together.
I was thinking I could make an excuse that I could teach you a few dance moves. We'll just go upstairs.
Oh no, those will be Thursday's classes.
Oh, poor.
What are you, part elf?
No, she is. Anyway,
Flawless.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. He gets a little extra to that persuasion because of that flawlessness.
no, it's just basically Cornelius not understanding that he would be insulted.
Doobadoo, doobadoo. Might as well.
Okay, I was about to say, is that about to be a national roll against Gagas or something?
No. Continue your
And
lesson.
Athletic checks.
We are going to.
Hi, Orbitson.
Door slams.
Cornelius, are you good? I run over and give Orbitson's door a light knock.
I'm not here. Shit.
Orbitson, are you all right?
Yeah, I just overheard what he was going on about. So I was standing outside for about 10 minutes and thought, you know what? It's raining, so I might as well walk in.
You're okay. You don't have to worry. You don't have to hide.
Oh, this isn't everyone? Okay. Steps out
You're
again.
okay.
He looks a little roughed up. Like his hair's sort of sticking up on one side, his shirt's a little bit torn.
You okay? You look like you've had a bit of a bad day.
No, it got better.
It got better.
Yeah, it started bad. It got better.
Huh.
What was the bad?
Al Shellslide was not impressed with being soaked and having his drink spilt several times. That was the bad. Luckily, he can't run very fast through small crevices.
That would be a good thing, yes.
And then Kalita, she's the hobgoblin. She was impressed. And at that point, the day got good.
Huh.
I kind of give a nod and then a clap on the shoulder. Well, good for you.
I think so. I'm not sure yet, but I think so.
All right, I was just checking to make sure you're all right, and I go back to join Cornelius.
I forgot to ask if she had a boyfriend or a husband.
That might cause you trouble later.
I'm pretty sure I've seen her with Shellslide.
Oh God. Well,
He's
if
just
you
standing sort of vacantly saying this at the door as well. He's not really looking at anyone.
If you need assistance, you know where to find us.
Oh yeah, I know. You're gonna be in the you're gonna be in the vulgar quarter, behind a big wall and a fence with guards. That's when he's gonna choose to strike. I know it. Or you're gonna be out on an adventure, and I'm gonna be looking at that door buckle on its hinges.
No, I point at Wolfgang. He's gonna be here while we're at the party. You're gonna be fine.
He's a tabaxi. He's not actually a cat.
Yeah, but trust me, you'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
I've gotten through worse now. I used to be able to say that as a lie, but it's not a lie. I really have gotten through worse.
Oh, gotta be optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I imagine as he says that, you could just still hear Cornelius droning on in the background. Now he's holding up one of these smaller glasses that's specified for the specific kind of a port wine.
Yeah, he also glances a little bit in Cornelius' direction when he says that.
Yeah.
Any food going, or is this just pretend?
Oh, this is just pretend. This is to make sure that everybody knows how to behave at the party.
Oh, okay. You use that one first, then that one second, that one third, and then you just kind of go with it. Then walks off to his room. Fuck, I should have been paying attention.
Got it.
Yeah, Zarzil, you get it now.
Roll an intelligence save, honey.
Yeah.
That's not the button you want. You want the
It's the
one
same
over-
thing.
Cornelius is still going.
No,
Yeah,
you give me
I'm nailing it.
Clarity.
he finally got the idiot's guide how to bluff your way through a noble
Yes,
bowl.
you put your fork on the meat first to prevent it from sliding off the plate before you cut.
I love the dice rolls associated with Orbinson.
And just Cornelius, see, you're getting it now.
And Rain just kind of wanders and pokes her head into Orbinson's room. Thank you.
As you poke your head in, you can see he's got his shirt off, and oh boy, it looks like Shaleslake got a hold of him from the claw marks on his back. But then you realize the direction is different. Okay, no, that was Kalita.
Yep. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. I used to do that shit all the time.
I go back to Cornelius.
He just entirely ignored the whole thing. He just dumped at your feet.
What else was I gonna do?
Ask how a guy who lives in his paw corner knows about nobleman's etiquette was one thing, but
Well, I figured he probably worked as a servant, right?
It's a fair assumption.
To help teach the dum-dums?
I could. Well,
I
they
not dumb
figured it
dumb
out,
Mount
haven't
Burn
they?
roll good.
I mean, Castalia is technically in the group.
yeah.
Alright, I go back and ask.
No, you don't have to. I'm just pointing out there was other questions you could
Yeah,
have.
she
Don't
was
have
throwing
to.
food around, sticking sausages in her horns.
I'd go back out and just go, you want to help try to get through, considering that apparently what you said actually helped them, and we haven't been able to get through yet.
Oh. He walks out with just shirt slung over shoulder, and you can see, oh god, he is skinny. There is a hint, but there is muscle somewhere in his body.
Oh, well, okay, he's not as skinny as the tailors we saw before. So.
No.
There we go.
It makes sense for him. He's just a lanky streak of piss, basically. With his rich gray skin and his tiny stubby tusks. Yeah, okay. So what are you teaching him? And he leans across. You can see Cornelius showing off the glasses. Oh, right. Yeah, okay. And he'll help out with that. So his persuasion. There we go, pretty good.
Hey, nice.
And now I think Cornelius and Rain have
Yeah.
questions about that modifier.
Yeah, that is pretty. Fuck. That's-
Everyone take a 5 minutes and can you come over here for one moment?
I go with Cornelius.
You manservant.
Yeah, a lot of commands today. I wouldn't mind,
So,
like most of them were fun.
Okay,
It's kind of relaxing when
What-
a woman knows what she wants. It gets less relaxing when she yells what she wants, but you know, it's good that she knows.
yes, okay, Robinson, please focus.
I'm kind of finding it hard
Where-
too. I'm still smiling, aren't I?
Yes, quite. It's actually getting kind of unnerving.
I'm only on my lunch
Right,
break
right.
too. I mean, there's just still more to the day.
Okay,
Rain Snickers.
Robinson, where
Yeah, sure.
do you know this from?
Huh? Oh, I used to work at a merchant's house as a butler. Well, not a butler, but, one of those roles like the butler, I think, is just meant to look after the dining room, besides most of my job, but I helped out a bit in a few other places, like I also tended to the kitchen and all. I wasn't a good cook, but I could organize and clean. Like, I lived in the slum, but my house was tidy. To a point. Why?
Very curious. So you weren't living in their house?
No, it was too small for that. Like, it was just, fancy merchant place. It wasn't in the Vulgars or anything. It was, down to the south of here. So, he didn't have servant quarters, so I just got up 4 a.m., ran over. For once, Cornelius looks at him thinking this man has a use. He can see him in the full black suit.
Yeah.
Probably have to shave the hair.
See, from what I've been placed here, what part of this wouldn't be out of place here in Raxis?
Well, I stopped. Like, he let me go years ago. We don't
Well, I assume
use
that
we don't
it's
use the
not changed
port
that
flutes
much.
anymore. Those went out of fashion. They like the big like they use the big brandy reservoirs. But that's used now for port and red wines mostly, and then the crystal flutes. Those are only used for anything sparkling from the dark roast, never for any other breweries. And he
There
just
is
starts
a-
talking his way
there
through it
is-
step by step, very informative, very clear.
Oh yeah, Cornelius is doing.
Yeah,
his
you're on
best
board
to
with this the
follow
whole.
up.
No, you have no problem following it. Like, it's all clicking into place. You just swap information in your mind.
Mm.
Rain, on the other hand,
Should I roll something?
yeah,
Alright,
It's
what
a-
do I roll?
like he's getting a little in depth there. Just intelligence.
Wow, I'm dumber than a box of rocks right now.
It's getting like you get most of it, like about good 80%, but then the last bit is just you're trying to reshuffle the rest of that into the learned response you got. Cornelius, yeah, you just pick it up. It's just very simple. There's less classes involved. It's a lot simpler affair, but there's a little priority set to the local brewery. Like, if it's a local brand, it gets a nicer glass, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That's more important than the type of alcohol. So, yeah, I don't think they changed a whole lot, but, I mean, I've not been around that sort of thing.
Well, I thought it has been changed radically over the last few years.
Yeah, probably.
You would certainly have heard bigger remarks about it then.
I mean, Civil War kicked off. That's different. That's a big change.
Oh, certainly, but those kind of changes only comes after a new rule has come into play, an official ruler.
All right.
You don't want to start changing things up about people going. This is the guy who could maintain the status quo.
Sure. Oh, Malgret's. Sorry, but we haven't really spoke a whole lot. What's your name? Malgern. Did he walk off?
Oh,
Yeah, I did.
All right. Orbison approaches saying, Malgret?
Malgern.
Malgern,
Yeah.
okay, sorry. I got a letter for you.
A letter.
Pulls it out. It's stamped with a really crude drawing of a hammer. He just has to do it. Yeah, that's you remember him, that dwarf from the drinking contest? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he asked me to give you this.
Oh.
As you open it up and read it, it just says in Dwarven, "You're a shit." It is not signed. It just says, filling the entire page, "You are a shit."
I just.
Then you flip it over and it says, "Fight me."
Uh-oh.
I'm just kind of crumpling it up with a look on my face, like, yeah. Kind of giving it. But
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, don't shoot the messenger.
Oh no.
He's a weird guy, though. They don't have his name on the boards.
Yeah.
They just call him.
Fucking child.
They just call him. What is it now?
Say it to my face next time.
He might. I think he's working today.
But I wouldn't think of that. So.
But yeah, they just call him like a title. Was it? It's in Dwarvish, so it's hard to pronounce. Ushane Vagoosh. Which, to those who know Dwarven, which is most of the party, just means monster killer.
Oh dear.
Okay, so Shane the Goose, got it.
Ushane Vagoosh, yes.
And Rain would say out loud, "Oh dear."
It's just a title.
And then you think, what's my
You know,
title? Oh, wait.
They called my uncle the Orc Slayer. He got his eye poked out by an orc, so,
Oh,
it don't mean shit.
okay. Anyone need me for anything? As Orbison just turns around, flapping his arms loosely.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
You've been most helpful.
Yes.
I'm gonna go have a bath.
You're really sweet. Have fun.
And up he goes, up the stairs and out of the way.
I present the crumpled up paper ball to Lorna to play with.
Smacked around, heartily, chasing it all over the place.
Excellent.
And
That
then
is
you
a
get the
good
disorientation
use for
thing of, there's a cat that's not chasing it at all.
that weapon. Oh. Still just sitting there. It's like, that's the perfect use for that kind of letter. I'm feeling very happy with what I have done. Say to my face next time, monster killer. I killed monsters. Well, I have. I think.
It's just the pouty way you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right, yeah. Monster killer.
There we go, do it in character.
Yeah.
And now all I remember is the time that he held on to a rope, and the wraith made the rope go away.
You don't remember that, you were dying.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm
And I'm
saying
not
this out of character.
And that's the thing. That happened, but I don't think about that. That's not going to cross my mind. No.
No, you're thinking when you killed that dragon creature.
Exactly.
And I'm legitimately trying to remember which big things you've had the killing blow on. Like, you fought a lot of things.
Did I get the killing blow on the bugbear? Is that me?
Bugbear doesn't count.
Yeah. Not big enough.
No, that's basically a person.
I know I didn't kill the Minotaur. That was somebody else.
Also just a general monster. I'm talking about the big things you fought. Like when you fought the tree. That's a big thing.
Oh, that... Okay. Yeah.
Or the Hydra, but I know Caselli got that.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't... not that big, but who killed the flail snail?
That was a party effort that was really dumb.
Yeah.
That describes 3/4 of our.
I was gonna say that you pretty much described this campaign. That was really dumb.
There's a bash in the door.
I go to open the door.
There is the dwarf behind the door.
Mugern, you have company.
He just waits there with his big fuck-off hammer in hand. It's huge.
Oh,
Goes up
look,
to him. No,
Mon-
friend.
it's Monster Killer.
He just raised a hand and wiggles his finger for you to come closer.
And there's Zarzel all the way across the way.
Okay, I'm going to come closer, and I'm gonna pull. He's got a hammer. I'm gonna pull out the tosser, make it evident that I have it.
I'm going to point out, can you all have this conversation out in the square and not in the house?
You're a shit!
We
And
know
then he
you
walks
just-
away.
Hey, no. Oh no, he is not walking away. Bullshit.
That dings off his shoulder.
Fuck off.
And he turns around. You can see he's in full plate armor.
God damn it, yeah, that would.
And he just looks at you.
Outside.
I said it, you're a shit. Fight me. And then he keeps walking.
He's still walking, right?
Yeah, he's heading for the south.
And he said, "Fight me," right?
Probably mean in the arena, Doofus.
Does Rain say that?
Yes.
Okay, then don't chase after him.
There's a guard who comes up a little bit of a way to look at what this... Is everything alright here? And the dwarf just says, fuck off, he's a shit.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah. If I saw the guard, I'd be like, okay, maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe maybe Rain is right for a change. Cough, cough.
As you close it, you...
It's a good. It also worked as a good sound effect that that it came from back wherever
Yeah,
the house it was.
She was walking to the kitchen to get a drink or something.
Yeah.
That's why I asked. I was like, was that in character? He's not what it is.
So it's lunchtime now and the rest of the day ahead. I asked you all to come up with a caper.
Yeah.
And I see you all came up with one from the
Well,
resounding
mine
response.
Mine kind of was the class.
Yeah, mine was going to pick out an outfit. I was going to go complete.
You mentioned arena, right?
I would eventually touch base with Cornelius and ask if he's thought about what to do about his darling sibling.
Yeah, I guess I'm supposed to also figure out. I have to loan him money so I can get a bigger closer up to who the people are he's dealing with before he gets himself killed.
Well, you also know it's not going to be alone, probably.
Yeah, I know. It was figuratively.
And we probably ought to go ourselves, because you're going to need backup, but we don't want to bring the entire lot.
Zazzle needs to go on a caper to get more pipeweed. Apparently he's out and he's starting to really feel it.
I mean, you've still got your leaves you bought from John.
Saving those for a special occasion.
I've got a caper if you want to go off on a tangent that I just thought of.
Sure.
I'm gonna go back to that bar with the drinking contest.
Okay. You've
I
been there a
wanna
few
find
times
out-
now.
I want to find out who this monster killer person is.
Hmm.
Really want to find out how fucked you are?
He said, "Fight me." How,
Congrats glances around a little bit, looks at Castalia, looks at Malgarin, realizes there's no contest, continues to sit with Castalia. He doesn't look
Malgarin.
that dangerous.
Malgurn scoots closer. Hey, big boy.
Hey, little guy.
I
If you're gonna bring height into this, he gets to bring height into it.
was gonna say, how tall is he? Just a curiosity.
He's 7 foot.
Why is everyone double my height? Jesus fuck.
You're a dwarf.
I know. It's come up twice this session. Like Cornelius. the human.
Goliath and Dragonborn, they're big races.
Yeah. Fuck off.
Can I just laugh about the fact that, Rain is one of the only people who's not dwarfing you?
I don't know. I can't think of how tall is Cornelius.
He's an average.
Like 5'8",
1 meter
5'10".
in the middle.
5'8". Okay, yeah. So
What's Rain then?
5. Oh, shit. It's written down, thank God.
I was gonna say.
5'4".
She's a tiny little thing.
I'm a half elf.
Like, that's the kind of girl who looks only at basketball players.
She's a half elf. They're naturally shorter.
Hamsterbanana.jpg.
And that puts what, Castalia at something like 6 foot?
Yep, she's at 6 feet.
Haha, great guess. Orbison is 6'2", but he's doesn't look like he has the body mass for it. He just is.
See a twig.
Yeah, he is absolutely a twig. Like I said, he's basically Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, that kind of figure.
Oh yeah, yeah, super tall, super yeah.
Yeah. Probably looks weird as a butler.
Yeah.
But hey, half-orc, so he's got the height.
Yeah.
And Zarzul, what's he, 3 foot nothing?
Somewhere around there. Yep.
Droops, I think, is shorter than Zarzul a bit. For he is still but a child. So yeah, you head to the Foam-Crowned Hammer, and there is, as always, the elf, the chubby elf. You also see, as you look along the wall, you can make out all those names now, and you do see Kagratz's sitting there. Should have been yours.
Yeah, I was robbed. I stand by that.
Aye. Hello, my friend, hello.
Is it afternoon? I take it.
It's, yeah, it's just after lunchtime, basically. We're kind of getting into like 1 p.m. or so.
Afternoon.
Well, apart from a drink, what can I do you for?
A drink would be nice. I'm actually here.
Something potent or something just for flavor?
Just flavor for now.
Alrighty, just a nice creamy ale. There we go.
The
Yep.
the gentleman from the drinking contest.
Ah. Which one?
The other dwarf gentleman.
Oh, the other dwarf. Okay, yeah.
He has approached me.
He does that with any dwarf of note here.
Okay.
So, you know, you're not the first. Sorry. That cheapens it.
Yeah. And he calls himself Monster Killer?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Why is that?
Him, and him, as he points to several huge-headed trophies at the back. You see the lion head of a chimera, you see a manticore face, and you see a horrible, bitey, gribbly insectoid monster thing that takes up, like, floor-to-ceiling the head.
I feel like I should have kept a Hydra head, damn it.
Did you
that-
kill the manticore? Who killed the manticore?
There were a couple of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cornelius definitely killed one by fall damage. He knocked it prone with Sleet Storm.
Yep.
So that's why he's called that.
I see. Is there another place he usually hangs out?
Oh yeah, he's a regular at the arena.
Okay.
Does
No,
he happen to be the current ruling champion?
That explains, and I'm kind of just nodding like that explains the fight me comments.
Like it never clicked for him until now.
I don't think arenas like that's something that would cross my mind. That explains
Yeah.
a lot. And
I mean, it's the big one. It's in the residential district, actually, near to the south, near the harbor. We do have a couple of bare knuckle fighting pits if you fancy that as well. But the arena is the big, you know, glamorous spectacle one. People with money actually go to that one.
and participants, is there eligibility requirements?
Gotta look like you can take things on. I think they've got like a little poster boy that you gotta beat up.
Doesn't sound too hard.
Just to give you a basic idea. It's a fancy place, though. They have a few enchantments going on, like, you can't die. You can get close, and some have gotten a bit worse depending on how many official people were attending the function, how many weren't. But in general, people walk out of that with just a couple of scars. And, you know, an empty purse. Yeah. A couple of the regulars of that place actually were here. They were the big contestants. Like the big Catman.
That explains. Let's see.
Usually I see his partner with him, though. Didn't see him today. Or, I mean, at the contest.
Partner.
Oh yeah, he's another tabaxi. Fancy boy, though.
Fighter.
One of those, dashing fencer types, you know? All poise and
Ugh.
precision.
Ah, I see. Yes, that explains the fancy.
Normally they've got their paws all over each other.
Now Orbitson is slightly.
And
less
I'm just
concerned.
kind of giving a look like, ooh,
Don't judge.
Melgern judge.
You're not the one who's had to watch them clean each other at the bar.
That's fair.
If I can accept that, you can get along with it just imagining. Yeah, then there's that big dwarf. There's a really big dragonborn, although he's not a drinker, so he didn't show up here. He's more straight for the whorehouse kind of guy.
We've all got our vices.
Well, I mean, he raked in huge money. He's came in a few times here with a massive barrel and says, "I'll take all the women I can fit in here." I filled it twice. Then it stopped being funny. Let's see. Who else do we have here? A couple of tieflings. There's this nature girl among them. Very pale tiefling as well. Can't remember her name. They do still have a big orc guy. He apparently just dropped from the clan just so he could fight in the arena. What's his name? I think. It's some stupid name like that. That's the way orcs are. And then one I don't usually see in the fights himself. I don't go all that often because I'm usually here, you know. Hailing heroes. Keeping guys like you nicely hydrated. Now come on, finish that drink. Your cheeks are looking pinched.
Yeah, I do finish the drink. And,
He fills it up very quickly.
oh,
What, no shame in second place?
eh,
You've proven yourself a hard drinker. You're a hero to the city.
that's not what Malgern expected to hear. This is very different.
I mean, you're not you're not something laughable like that little kobold guy.
I do kind of chuckle at that.
No, I mean, he's a great hero and all. We're not taking that away from him, but it was funny when he just fell over from trying to take your drink.
He does that.
Yeah. I'm sure he's a very nice guy, though. Nice bit of fun.
Yeah.
People remember that for a while. And yeah, there's another Dragonborn that hangs around there, dark-scaled fellow. Not sure if he's just very dark green or black-scaled. Hard to tell. Never usually see him in a fight, but he's always hanging around there. I think that's about it for the big notable ones. I mean, the guy who runs it just calls himself Bookie.
That's straight to the point.
Yeah, nice guy. He's a wine drinker, though.
Right.
Never drinks just normal, just a normal ale or anything, or a mead.
Don't think I've ever heard Bookie and nice guy in the same sentence before.
Oh yeah, well, he comes here and he's not working, so he's a nice guy.
That's fair.
Let's see. Let's open up the floodgates a bit for you. Here we go. This is a Boarside brew, this one.
Ooh, Boarside.
And as you sniff at it, how is there a pork smell here? This is a frothing jug of fun liquid bread. How is there a bacon smell?
I'm not going to question it.
It's a
I
flavor
like-
too as you start to pour it down.
Yeah.
There's no saltiness though, so that's surprising.
Savory beer. Okay.
Yeah, they like to talk. They used to tell stories about how they'd dunk a massive wild boar they'd hunt down right into the keg. Just let it hang there for a while. It's bollocks that. Alright, good one? Do you like it? How you rating?
It's above average.
Alright, we'll try this next one then. A Newfort Brown. Heavy. Sort of treacly.
Ooh.
Like it feels like it should have a little more fluid in it. It's that sort of thing where you pour it down and it sort of clags at your throat and mouth.
Yeah. Kind of just slides out of the tankard. Like,
Very rich though, very burnt. What are you thinking? I'm looking at your face, I'm not seeing great results.
It's a bit thicker than I expected.
I thought that was a normal phrase of a dwarf lady.
I roll my eyes.
Alright, so anything else I can help you with?
No, looks like I've got a list of friends that I have to make.
Another drink?
No, I'm fine, but appreciate the drinks.
Oh yeah, don't worry. On the house as well.
Oh,
Yeah. You're a big hero. Celebrate. You killed that big rat thing that admittedly you put there, but it was a fun spectacle.
I will thank you for the drinks, and I'll leave a couple silver on the table, just as a thank you.
Cheers on the courtesy. And you just realize you had a fun, nice, pleasant conversation with a man who is a complete elf.
Ouch.
Which just makes you realize, oh, it's not the elf, it's the problem with rain.
Fuck off.
It's not the human part either, it's the rain part. Let's check our time here. Anything else short we want to have a bit of fun with? We've hit the 3-hour mark, but I'm alright for going another 10, 20 minutes. Anything you want to get sorted?
Nope.
Any conversations that need to be had?
Nope, I now know where Monster Killer is.
And I've already said my piece about having to uneducate these filthy masses. Next time it's dance time. I already painted out footsteps on these pieces of papers.
Droop just laying them down with him. The two of them just dancing around each other as they lay the feet.
Yeah, I was like, prestidigitation would work great in this situation, I feel.
To get rid of it, yeah.
Yeah, so why didn't you just put them down on the floor?
Just some certain things you do. Gonna waste all my magical powers.
Because you're the expert, right?
Yes.
So,
You're doing things my way.
So they all seem distracted right now. Just congrats leans in with Casalia.
Not bad.
When we got home last night, I just hit the hay immediately, so, want to make up for lost time?
Sure.
Yeah, let's get out of here. As he just hefts her up into his arms and carries her upstairs. There's a clattering and a rattling and some heavy thuds. He's not being sneaky at all.
Yeah, it's just about us placing the papers down. Okay, then we'll. Okay, well we don't have one for. We don't have one for Sarsul to death at the moment as Malgern is out. So at the moment, I guess I'll just have to demonstrate with Rain. Now, you. And then you just notice that the rest of them are gone. Well, this is just unprofessional.
I suppose we'll have to wait.
And that on that sitcom moment, let's leave off the session. As Cornelius is standing there huffing with his hands on his hips.
Yep.
Ooh.
I actually did that. I emulated that movement as well.
Now, is he huffing because they left, or because he actually dragged Rain over to start to dance with her?
Oh, because no one's here to learn.
Yeah.
He wants to teach.
Yeah, I know, but then he had to actually deal with Rain before he realized it was a wasted effort.
But yeah, we'll get back to this next week. As it turns out, yet another session was spent in like a chunk of a day. But we're having fun, and that's all that matters.
Yep.
Don't worry, I'll soon kick up the battles and the fights and the horror and the drama. But it's nice to have a lull after the Dark Slum.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just, if you guys feel like the campaign needs to move along a little bit, be sure to speak up.
Yeah, but now we're preparing for the big gala, so, you know.
And maybe even the arena.
Yeah, even the arena.
Yep. Now to kill the stream. We'll be back next week. Also, back next Thursday for the second side story of Salt Marsh with Simon's survival seminar for sailors. Simple.